When last we left our adventurers, you had been working in the small town of Daggerford, um, seeking a life perhaps of adventure, not the mundane lives that had been handed you on on an on a plain wooden plate. Uh, Taking odd jobs here and there, you would gain some renown um, as skill, skilled hunters and defenders. What would pass for local royalty had summoned you recently to the manor at Daggerford, a sumptuous dinner prepared for you um, at the behest of the Baroness, her guests for the evening. A fine evening of meal accompanied by drink. She told you her tale of strange visitors, a band of perhaps gypsies or some other travelers that had been harassing locals, merchants, and uh, traders for coin or wine. Um, she left you with a strong message that she wanted delivered to these and asked if you could have them let them know that they're not welcome here. She needed them gone by daylight or she would burn their wagons to the ground. And you, being the resourceful lot that you are, and feeling that this might be somewhat in your wheelhouse, decided to take on this challenge and go see this band of gypsies immediately. But first, you thought perhaps maybe a bribe was in order if they wouldn't leave, or before trying to apply force, perhaps a bribe. So you went to a local inn where you acquired a few bottles through some cunning negotiation with the local barkeep, some 4 5 bottles of some of the finest wine that was available in Daggerford. Making your way out, you tried to carefully approach this band of ragtag travelers, almost looking like gypsies in the dark, dancing and singing around orange and yellow crackling fire, burning high into the night. The smell of smoke hitting your nose, the sounds of their laughter and song hitting your ears. As you crept closer and closer, they became aware of your presence and bid you come and join them. They did not wish any trouble with the local baroness. They only wished to share a story and a drink, and they would be on their way. You did join and talk to these local gypsies. These traveling gypsies. They told you of a story of an ancient warrior who had come to live among them. He had been taken in battle, or he was being pursued in battle, defending his lands, claiming to be a prince, wanting to be returned to his castle. These people, calling themselves the Vestani, aided this prince in returning him to his castle, but where he still resided, but he had fallen under some strange curse and were looking for someone, anyone, to come and aid him. You, as a group, seemed flummoxed, didn't know what to do, which way to go. But you did notice as the Vistani gypsies made their way off into the fog, into the night, your way back to the town of Daggerford looked as if a very thick fog was obscuring your way. So You made a decision to try to track these gypsies and perhaps make your way to find this prince. In the dark, in the night, you followed, and until you could move no longer and decided to make camp for the night. As with any time in the wilderness, taking watch, taking your turns, taking your time, uh, hearing the sounds, the distant baying of hounds, and at one point, a quick encounter where a weasel met an untimely end. Uh, Waking the next morning, your fire having died down to cinder and ash, you made your way back to the road and discovered that things were different. The trees, their ashy shapes looming in the distance, were different. The ground, the terrain seemed different. And after a quick check, an almost sudden, certain surety that you had made camp on the other side of the road, everything seemed, well, just wrong. Fearing that you would get lost, you quickly made your way down this road, finding a fork and rough tracks, trails in the dirt, leading you to a massive gate and an old walled city. You turn to find that as you've made your way along this road, it seems that this fog, this thick fog, where faces had been perceived in the night to be leering out of the fog, it appeared as if in this darkened morning that the fog had been, in fact, chasing or pursuing you to these gates. And as the fog closed in and it became increasingly evident that this was not so a normal, creeping, misty morning, you began fearing for your safety, finding refuge within the gates and a gatehouse just beyond. Once you discovered that the fog was, in fact, held at bay, or at least not pursuing further, you began making your way towards the sounds of what appeared to be, to your ear, a distant village, where you came across a row of houses that seemed to be deserted, and across two children playing in the, or waiting in the street. A plaintive cry for help from them. Please, get the monster out of our house. You bravely forged your way in and began your investigation. Things that appeared to be normal. The outside of this house, shabby. The interior of it, immaculately kept. Silver polished fabrics gleaming and bright. Everything free from dust. There it appeared to be nothing remarkable in the way of monsters, as these two children had described. But strange things that you noticed about the house itself. There were carvings that, when looking at its intricate detail, showed to be carved by someone of an almost twisted sensibility. Something about it just felt wrong. I believe when the last time we checked, let's see. Okay. Let's see. I believe we had made our way upstairs we had inspected an upper hall where the unlit oil lamps were mounted on the walls. Hanging above the mantel, you saw a wood-framed portrait of a family, um, labeled the Durst family, and individual names underneath the picture, the painting, Gustav and Elizabeth, were standing with two smiling children, Rose and Thorn, who you had met previously. Cradled in the father's arm is a swaddled baby. The mother is looking down on her face, a hint of scorn. There were suits of wooden armor flanking doors in the east and west halls. And you had checked out what appeared to be a servant's quarters.
Ooh, this works now.
So, you checked out. Oh, my ping. Now my ping isn't working. Okay. Okay, so yep, you guys, that's where you're back out in the main hall where the four suits of armor are.
Just to clarify, is my ping working?
I can see you guys ping, yes.
I can't
so you see
yours.
that right there?
Nope.
No, I can't see yours. Can you see?
I see the red.
Red is me.
Yeah, mine's not working. That's fine.
Are you sure you've got the right thing selected? On the top left, you need to have the pointer selected.
The pointer select move.
There we go.
There we go.
Draw shape.
No, at the very top there's an arrow there's an arrow, and that'll be.
Yeah, it's not working for me.
Okay, double click on the arrow to make sure that one's highlighted.
Yeah.
Okay, and now there should be a thing that pops up that says select move, pan view.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's on select move.
And yours is still not working?
Nope.
Son of a bitch. Okay. All right, so here we are. I believe you were, again, right here.
Oh, you just pinged there.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah.
That was
So
similar colors.
Yeah, I gotta change my color too. We'll figure it out later.
yeah.
So what do we do?
Okay, so I believe that, what was it, Ciertis? Is that right?
Yeah.
Was about to open a door here?
Yeah,
Or-
I was right behind him.
Okay. So,
Right before he opens that door,
mhm.
I'm going to look at him and just say, wait. Give me one moment. And I will reach into my sack and I will pull out my flask of holy water. I'm going to put just a sprinkle of it into my hand, raise my arm over the three in front of me. I believe the three in front of me were Kiartis, Ridri, and Ukoda.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Bless on the three of them.
Ooh, my girl.
Okay.
Bless.
That's going to give you, I believe that's, that's going to give you, all three of you, an extra D4 to either your attack roll or your saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah, you'll need to declare that before you use it. Okay. So,
It's a good thing you didn't use that on Miguel. It would have made him burn.
so as you
Why is he on fire?
as you crack the door open, you make your way slowly into the room, the light spilling in from the windows as you see the fog swirling outside the house still. Red velvet drapes cover the windows of the room. An exquisite mahogany desk and a matching high-back chair face the entrance, and the fireplace, above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. Situated in corners of the room are two overstuffed chairs. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the south wall, and a rolling wooden ladder allows one or more to easily reach the high shelves. So,
No sign of any monster, though, correct?
make a perception check.
That is the dice are in the car. That is a 11.
11. Listening carefully. You hear the wind outside. It doesn't appear to be anything monstrous here.
I'm beginning to think that the children jest.
If I turn to the bookshelves and like my eyes skim the individual books, do I see anything useful to the party? Anything on magic or lore?
The bookshelves hold hundreds of tomes covering a range of topics. You look up, you see history, warfare, alchemy. There are several shelves containing first edition collected works of poetry and fiction. There does not appear to be anything on these shelves of an arcane nature.
I want to go in.
Anything interesting on the desk?
Yeah, I was going to say I want to go in and search the desk.
Okay, go ahead and make your investigation check.
I'm going to move right about, I don't know if you can see my thing pinging, but I'm going to move about right here and start looking in this area.
Wait, I did not see you pinging at all.
That's a 7 for me.
It's behind the desk, or not behind the desk, but like right next to the desk, that area. I'm guessing those are bookshelves.
Okay, in between the bookshelves, is that what you're saying?
Right here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, right where the blue just.
Oh, okay.
Okay, right there. Okay, so go ahead
Right.
and go ahead and make your perception check. Okay, for
Right.
on the desk there is an oil lamp, a jar of ink, a quill pen, and a tinder box. A letter containing a letter kit containing a red wax candle. Let's see, 4 sheets of blank paper, blank parchment, a wooden seal bearing the Durst family insignia. It's again looks to be a windmill. The desk drawer is empty except for an iron key.
I will take that key.
Okay.
How big is the is the family seal?
It's about the size of a crab apple.
Okay, I would like to stuff that and the candle in my pack.
Okay, cool.
So Persephone is still like walking up and down the aisle of the books. As I'm looking at them, are there any that stick out? Any that look like they would be hollowed out for an item, or any that look like they would be a lever to something?
Ooh, make your investigation check. What was your roll there, Leliana? For your
10.
For 10?
10.
As you're going through that area, and you're like digging through the books, and you're like looking through this, you find out of all of the books that in this area, it seems like everything has something written on the spine designating what they are, except for one book has nothing written on the outside of it back in that area.
I'll take that book and look through it.
As you grab the book and pull it, you hear a
Oh shit. I
like
found
books.
something. Okay, something just opened up. I don't know what, but I just seem to have pulled a lever.
Lovely. Anything in this room shifting, moving?
make your perception check as you looking around.
That's an 8.
Okay, very clearly, it's panicking for a moment. Nothing seems to be happening. Nothing visibly happening in the room around you.
Ridgery, you're of decent stature. Why don't you check out those chairs for a moment? I'm going to poke my head outside, and I'll just step here and just kind of peek through here. Look, like I'm looking in this area, looking for anything that moved.
Okay, again, looking around. I believe somebody snatched the head off of one of these statues. Is that right? Somebody took one of the.
Who could that have been?
Yeah.
Somebody took one of the helmets off of it.
Yeah, I took out the wolf's helmet head.
Yeah, so you see one of the suits of armor is looking slightly collapsed. The spear in its hand has kind of fallen, not completely out of its grasp, but it's dangling precariously, like it could move at any second, like it could drop. But casting about the rest of this room, you see nothing that looks immediately out of place.
Liliana, perhaps you should put the book back and move it again.
All right. I do just that. I'll push it back in and then pull it back out.
Okay, as you put the book back in, you hear it, and then you pull it back out, and you hear this time distinctly. There's the sound as if something has moved behind the bookcase.
Persephone, do you want to help me find out what that was? I heard it this time. It's behind here somewhere.
Sure, I don't mind at all. I walk into the other room, and the book itself, was it on the other side of the beds or the closet? It's right there.
It's yes.
I'm gonna go.
Yes,
I'm gonna go to this room with her.
Oh wait, are you okay? Just to be okay. So, where are you coming here?
Yes.
Okay, because this is where she is. But she came down here and moved the bookshelf, or moved the book.
And you said it sounded like something behind the bookshelf.
It sounded like something behind the bookshelf moved. So you guys will come back in here. Okay, cool. Make your investigation check.
Me as well.
Yeah, you're both in there investigating.
Yeah. And that's 15.
That is 19.
Okay, as Liliana's on the other side, and she's like she knows that she's triggered something, but she just, she told you it's coming from behind. You come in here and start inspecting, checking, looking under the beds, back in the closet again, back right here. You realize that Persephone takes and puts her hand up against the wall and realize that it sounds like this is hollow. This should be the outside of the house, but it sounds hollow. But it sounds like it's hollow.
Can I start looking for like ledges in the door or anything that looked like it could open up?
Sure. Go ahead and make your perception check.
Does that be perception? Hold on.
Yes, because now you're not looking for something general. Now you're looking for something specific. Now you're making a perception check, whereas before you were investigating to see if there was just anything random.
Sorry, one moment.
Yeah, can I join her in that? And looking for like seams in the wall?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I made a 3, so I'm gonna need your help. Please.
Perception.
That's a 7.
Okay,
Nice.
so as you're both going over high and low, you notice that the entirety of the back side of the wall from here to here appears to be newer than the rest of the walls in these areas.
Shall we yell for Liliana to open the open the books again, or should we just go over there and not draw attention to the group by yelling?
I'm still standing here, so I mean.
Okay,
I'm
we're gonna
go to
peek.
I'm gonna go to the door and tell you go to tell Liliana to try the mechanism of the book again.
Liliana, pulleth thine book.
All right, I shall do it again.
Please and thank you.
Okay, one more time as you put the book back into place, and you guys could hear it almost like a boom, like something reverberating on the walls behind the beds. And one more time, and the bookshelves move forward slightly, just about a half an inch. As you place the book back this time, the bookshelf moves forward slightly.
Oh. That's new. Okay, Ukoda, could you tell them that the bookcase moved?
Liliana says that the bookcase hath moved.
Well, let us go investigate then.
Trying so hard to make this a spooky environment for you.
I'm a simple man. Well, Triton, whatever the fuck.
So if I walk up and it looks like it's opened, yes?
Now you can see the bookcase has moved forward slightly. It's you can see like there's a seam in the bookcases.
Can we pull it a little open if we tug on it gently?
Reach forward and it does begin to move. It like begins to roll outward slightly.
Wait. Everyone, it could be dangerous. Miguel should check it out. I take the skull and I put it in to take a peek.
Okay. And as you reach behind this little 1.5, 2 foot gap behind the bookshelf where you pulled it out a little bit and you shove Miguel's skull in, or you push your husband forward into the room and you twist his head about left and right. He says nothing to you about whether it's dangerous or not.
Guys, it's safe. Let's go.
So as you duck your way into it appears that you've found what is a hidden chamber, a secret room. It's dark in here. The light from the rest of the room isn't spilling in. You can only see about 5 feet in front of you. Who has dark vision or?
I do.
I do.
Okay, you both do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But I want to go back to the desk and get the lantern or the off the desk and light it and bring it into the room.
Okay, so taking out your tinderbox and the lantern flares to life, and you scurry back around, and putting it ahead of you, you see bookshelves packed with tomes that are like beautifully handwritten. There's a heavy wooden chest with clawed iron feet on the south wall, the lid half closed. As you thrust the lantern forward into the darkness, you can see sticking out of the chest is a skeleton in leather armor.
Hello, friend. How long have you been here?
I'm going to go check the skeleton.
Okay. You can investigation check.
Let's see, what is my 17.
17. Knowing as much as you do, having studied healing rituals and healing magic, you can see immediately where the flesh began decaying first, and you can see and you pick out a little thing in the bottom of the wrist where a poisoned dart had struck this creature and person, humanoid, and killed it. you can reasonably assume that this wooden chest had a dart trap on it. You look a little bit closer, and you see 2 more darts stuck in this creature person's armor and rib cage. In the skeleton's left hand is a letter.
I take the.
And on this letter is a crest.
Oh my. Now, does that look like the same crest that we saw earlier?
It does indeed. Reading and written in flowing script. You see this written. Most pathetic servant, I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you on a path to immortality. However many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many visitors you have tortured in your dungeon, know that you are not the ones that brought me to this beautiful land. You are but worms writhing in my earth. You say that you are cursed, your fortune spent. You abandoned love for madness, took solace in the bosom of another woman, and sired a stillborn son. Cursed by darkness, of that I have no doubt. Save you from your wretchedness? I think not. I much prefer you as you are. Your dread Lord and Master, Strahd von Zarovich.
So, would that be the baby in the in that engraved
over the fireplace?
Yes. That's
so no,
that's why the mother is angry.
The 3rd child?
Yes, the baby in the man's arms, the mother looking at him very, scornfully. Could be this child here.
Should we look at the tomes for any more evidence? It looks like the owner may have had a hand in this.
I want to make sure there's no more traps on the chest.
I should make a perception check.
That is a 23.
23. Very clearly, you can see that there is a trap on it, but it has previously been triggered.
Okay, there's no more.
The little dart chutes behind the spring-loaded mechanism on the trap are emptied. The three darts are in the person. The skeletal remains of the figure in front of you.
Okay, I want to open the chest and pull the skeleton out.
Okay,
so we can get a look inside.
Real quickly though, we had Persephone wanted to look at the bookshelves with the tomes. Pulling them down, you see tomes describing fiend summoning rituals and necromantic rituals of a cult called Priests of Osibis. Just scroll after scroll, tome after tome.
Are any useful to our group?
You would have to study them for a while to find that out. I mean, there's like you can see the titles right here, but you would have to take a little while to study them. I mean, if you want to take them with you, if you want to leave them here, whatever you want to do, if you want to sit and study them for a little while. But you'd have to take, but just right off the top, right off the rip, it's not, there's no way to know if this would be.
I will take the ones on necromancy, the ones on fiend, and any else that you were mentioning before I interrupted.
Fiend summoning and necromantic rituals of a cult called Priests of Osibus.
Okay, I'll take those and put them in my bag.
Outstanding. Okay. The chest contains 3 blank books with black leather covers. There are 3 spell scrolls in here. As you begin passing them around and looking over them, one of them looks very familiar to Leliana. There's a scroll of bless and protection from poison and a scroll of spiritual weapon. The deed to the house, the deed to a windmill, and a signed will.
I want to look at I want to take the deed and look at the will.
I will take that scroll of, I'll take all those scrolls, the spell scrolls. I'll just take them all.
Okay. The will is signed by Gustav and Elizabeth Dirth and bequeathed the house, the windmill, and all other family properties to Rosavalda and Thornbolt Durst in the event of their parents' death. What would you like to do?
So I'm taking notes.
I want to pick the deeds and the will in my bag.
Okay.
And what else was it? The 3 blank books?
The what now?
The 3 blank books.
They were just that. They're blank books.
Okay.
So
3 blank books with black leather covers.
Can I search the skeleton?
Yes, you certainly can.
So do another.
Make a perception check.
That is the 6.
Those are bones.
It looks like you can use my help when it comes to the bones.
There are a lot of bones. There are probably enough bones here to make a whole person if you happen to have a lot of skin and blood.
Just for shit's sake and because I'm curious, if I look around where the skeleton's hands are there any final messages, any scratches in the floor?
Oh, cool. Make your perception check.
What was that third spell scroll? There was bless, spiritual weapon, and
protection from poison.
Protection.
Which apparently this motherfucker could have used before he opened the chest.
He should have read faster.
1 + 1 is 2.
Okay. 2?
Yes, sir.
There are a couple of claw marks across the top of the chest, but they don't appear to say anything.
So, if I can, going up to the skeleton, does he have his whole hand intact? Phalanges, metacarpal, and all?
Ooh, yeah, it looks like a complete skeleton. Yeah, you know a lot about bones, so yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I could use a hand, so I'm gonna take his hand and put it in my bag.
Okay.
Bones.
So easily enough. He's in enough of a state of decay. He's been here long enough that you're able to easily and pop those bones off and take them for yourself. And while the rest of the arm just kind of falls away and the bones clatter to the floor, and you, with a completely indifferent look on your stitched together face, are able to slide those bones and they rattle to the bottom of your bag.
Me being the only person that didn't file into this tiny room, I'm just chilling in this chair right here.
Kick back, relax. It is an absolutely gorgeous chair. It's the batting in it. It feels like the softest, like lamb's wool inside. It's so cushiony and soft. and immaculately clean. It's you can almost smell the stitching on it.
Before I leave this room, I want to search these 2 bookshelves for anything on like supernatural beings or undead, fiends or devils or anything like that.
There's still, I mean, there's a couple of copies of books. There's again, almost everything in here has to do with fiend summoning rituals. Different, each book for summoning different fiends and necromantic rituals, but they all have the symbol of a cult called the Priests of Osibus. They're all just a bunch of different necromantic rituals and summoning rituals.
Actually, because I do kind of have a background in that, do I know who they are?
Who, the Priests of Osibus?
Yes. Or are they completely unfamiliar to me?
Make a religion check.
With
advantage.
I've just come to the realization that I think they were trying to use necromancy upon the stillborn child.
21.
21?
Yep.
Racking your brain. You've studied necromancy. You're steeped in the lore of it. And you, with your vast knowledge of necromancy and all the things that you've studied and all the things that you learned from dear Miguel, have never heard of a cult called the Priests of Osibus.
I think I'm going to relay that information.
You said there's like different rituals and books on different fiends.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look specifically for books on shadow demons.
There is one. There is a book on summoning shadow demons.
Okay, I want to take the book for research later.
Okay, cool. So you're able to easily slide that into your pocket.
Being a cleric, would I have any knowledge of the Priests of Osibus?
Make your religion check.
Gosh, that's just.
Also, looking around suddenly at all these different.
Again, it's strange to you too. This being about priest, you would think that you would learn something about it, but no, again, nothing. You don't recall having heard anything about the priests of Osibus.
Knitting my eyebrows together, I look around at like all these formulas and all these magical tomes. Do any of them look like they would make sense or be functionable, or are they like, would they work in theory?
Make an Arcana check.
While she's doing that, I want to move back out into this room.
Okay, good to know.
And just keep an eye outside this door.
Okay.
I'm still sitting in this chair.
The spear on the one that's about to, you said looked rickety. I'm curious. I would like to inspect thine spear.
And I have a 16 on my Arcana.
Really? Okay, that's good to know. So, as you're studying the books diligently, you're looking them over and over again now. It's Ukoda's checking the spear, right?
Yes.
Okay. It was
Correct.
Okay. So Ukoda, as you're and you start looking more closely, and it's dangling precariously in the suit of armor. You reach over and grasp the spear, and it feels solid. It feels like a good, solid, sturdy weapon. And you go and pull it gently, and the headless suit of armor begins to move towards you slightly.
Oh shit, I'm backing up.
And as you back up with the spear still in your hand, it clatters to the floor, and with just a loud metallic ring that's and then that echoes off this marble staircase up and down, and you can hear it as it clatters to the floor. The echoes. You hear.
I'm running out into the hallway.
And you run out to the hallway, and you hear this. Oh. And,
What did you do?
and you hear, and as Persephone snaps the book closed, anger comes over her for a second as she realizes that, yeah, every single one of these books about necromancy is completely fucking wrong.
Motherfucker!
Every single one of them is bogus. That you know necromancy, and everything that they're describing about basic necromancy is fucking bullshit.
I'm gonna move away from the door back to about here.
Okay.
And
Everyone, I think we're in a fun house. I think all this is fake. I don't know what's going on. I am just upset right now. Miguel is too.
Interesting.
I'm just staring at Ukoda. I'm staring at Ukoda. What did you do?
Well, that since the armor fell in front of me, what's in it? or is it purely decorative?
It as you walk up to it, looking more and more closely, your heart kind of pounding in your throat. You look over and kick one of the pieces of armor. He clatters off to the side, and it remains completely still. It was barely being propped up by that spear that was holding it up.
What if those children outside were just misfits and they just brought us into this house for no reason?
Well, that very well could have been, but they're protecting us.
We
from
haven't seen a meat. Things don't taste good. Things don't taste at all. These books are bullshit. I'm not having a good day.
This is all one big illusion.
I look at the pelts and is it real fur even?
Oh, make your nature check.
I'm gonna be so upset.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna pull out the book on Shadow Fiends and look through it, and with what I've already learned about Shadow Fiends,
Make your Arcana
see
check.
if any.
Make your Arcana check.
All right, I have a 16.
You're 16 for your nature? Oh,
Yeah.
Thank God something here is real, because these are very real, very, very well-preserved pelts.
I pet them. They soothe me a little bit.
Okay.
That's 6.
6 on your...
Arcana check.
Well, you've spent your time steeped in this lore, and it seems legit to you. You don't know why Persephone's so upset, because I mean, this book seems right on, seems on the money.
I'm just rereading that letter, and something just seems off to me. We have fake necromancy books, but yet I don't know, something. I feel that maybe they were trying to use necromancy on a stillborn child. Maybe. I could be wrong. I don't know, but this whole thing is unsettling. Were those 2 children even real? Did anybody
tell me something, Leliana?
Yes.
Of all the temples you've ever been to, the grandest of them all, did it have any curb appeal? Something doesn't match here. Something so immaculate on the inside, but so drab on the outside that nobody would go for that.
There's not a speck of dust anywhere. There's no there's even no sign of a monster. Yes, we heard something up here, but I see nothing.
I'm looking over her shoulder, looking at the letter. Doesn't this letter sound like it would be the letter of an angry wife? Because it's talking about your abandoned love for madness. You took solace in the bosom of another woman and sired a stillborn son. What if that's why she was looking down sourly at that child? That was not her child.
Exactly. That was my thought earlier. But there must be something else.
Oh, Lord.
What was
Are
that?
there any windows? I want to look out a window.
While they're talking, I'm going to move back to the door and like look outside.
It sounds like one of those four-legged land-dwelling creatures.
Oh, they'll love you. You should go find it.
I thought cats loved him.
You are correct. Does it sound like it's coming from this door we haven't checked yet?
Yeah, sounds like there's something in this room.
If I look, is there a gap under the door?
As you bend down and take a look, there's about it's about a quarter of an inch. It's small. These doors are sturdy, and as I recall, there was something very odd carved on them.
I would like to look at that carving.
Okay. You hear like something kind of scamper across the floor.
Shall we get one of the bones
Okay.
to throw to the beast?
That is an idea.
Okay, the doors that you'd seen before had looked at first like they were carved with dancing youths, dancing children, although close inspection, you notice that the youths aren't dancing, but fighting off swarms of bats in the carving on the wooden doors.
This image does not bode quite well. Ridgery, will you? Ridgery, come. I need
All
you.
right. I'm coming.
Persephone, do you have that bone?
I'll go into the other room and grab a femur off the skeleton. Or a forearm.
So Persephone going and everyone gathering back in the main hall.
I'm going to stand here with my bow ready.
Behind the armor?
No, so that's the armor that's fallen, hasn't it?
I was thinking the armor on the other side, but okay, we can say that was that armor that fell. So
Never mind. Just I'm here.
okay, so you buy the fireplace, really? No, I'm kidding. Fireplace is fine.
You sure?
Are you sure about that?
No, I go back into this room. I leave the face it alone.
Okay, so
No, I'm here.
Persephone, so everybody gathering back in the main room, Persephone proceeds, she comes back out. There's still some cloth. She grabs one leg, attempting to grab the femur, but it's still connected at the knee, and she brings one full leg back with the boot still on it. And she makes her way back.
Choice.
as Ukoda, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna back up about 10 feet, the length of my spear, and I'll say, now, Ridgery, we saw the box before. It had darts and pokey things. If you would check for those before you open the door, I think that would be a good move.
Yeah, good thought. I'll inspect the door for any kind of booby traps or anything off with it.
Okay.
We don't want those pretty little hands of yours getting poked.
Okay. If you just make your perception check.
Um,
Oh fuck.
hold on. I have the lucky trait. So, oh wait, never mind.
Oh,
Nope,
by the
can't
way,
do that.
Zach, it looks like I didn't take a feat for my character. Doesn't my character get one?
It's starting at first level.
Because I'm human?
A feat?
I thought so, yeah.
I
Because my D&D app told me to take one, but when we made one on your computer, it didn't give one to me.
Huh. I have never started with a feat before.
This is mine's a racial trait.
Yeah, what are you? What are you? A stout halfling?
Lightfoot halfling.
Lightfoot halfling. Yes, yes. Lightfoot halfling is automatically lucky.
Yep. But
yeah, no. As a human, you get a +1 to every ability score.
Okay.
That's what makes being a human special. Is
Okay.
you automatically get 6 ability points to spend that are already spent on everything. So all of your abilities are naturally stronger.
So is this technically an ability check or no?
Yes. You're going to make a perception check to see if this thing is trapped in any way.
Okay, that's a 15.
Okay, and that's your second perception check because the first roll was a lot lower.
Yes. It would have been a 0 if I kept that one.
Oh no.
Looks to be fine. As a matter of fact, as you're going over the door, doesn't even appear to be locked.
I will reach up and fling the door open.
Bless is gone, by the way. I hope you noticed. It's been a while. Bless is gone.
Well, you probably should have gotten the sticky-fingered one to look for the door.
So the light opens onto what appears to be a conservatory. Gossamer drapes cover windows in this elegantly appointed hall, which has a brass-plated chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Upholstered chairs line the walls, and stained glass wall hangings depict beautiful men, women, and children singing and playing instruments. A harpsichord with a bench rests in the northwest corner. Near the fireplace is a large standing harp. Alabaster figurines of well-dressed dancers adorn the mantelpiece.
I'm gonna go have a look at the fireplace.
Okay.
I'll go check out the harpsichord.
Okay. The harp.
I also feel like we haven't looked out the window in a little bit, so that's where I'm gonna go towards.
Okay.
Looking at the back of the door, do I see any scratch marks where an animal would have been scratching?
Yeah, make your perception check. The harpsichord is made of some of the finest red oak that you've ever seen. And it's got bits of silver engraved into the wood. The strings themselves actually appear to be made of silver. The fireplace appears to be completely cleaned of any ash whatsoever. There are fresh logs in the fireplace, as if it's ready to for a fire to be started at any moment. Just waiting for the right person to come into the room. You look at the mantle. These beautifully dressed images of people dancing. You take a second look, something odd catches your eye. The dancers are actually carvings of very, very well-dressed skeletons. As you make your way across the room to check out the window, which window are you going to?
Just a window to look outside and see
Okay,
if the little children are there.
Okay, so as you make your way over, around the harpsichord, and you pull back the gossamer drapes, you can see the image. You can see, like, it looks like through the fog as you're looking out, you can see looks to be maybe a building off in the distance through the fog. It's hard to tell. The lines look almost too straight to be trees. But then you see a branch kind of through the breeze. And you look down at the ground and you think for a second, split second, you can see two children walking on the ground below as something nudges the back of your ankle.
I look down. What is at my ankle?
There's a little puppy.
I throw the bone across the room and I continue looking outside.
You throw the bone across the room. And he jumps all over it, and Ukoda, you're looking at, you can see there are scratches on the backside of the door that look to be made from by a small animal, and you're not at all surprised to see this cute little white and brown puppy running around the room. And he goes over to the femur and starts gnawing on it, and he picks it up, and the bottom half of it falls away, and this femur is longer than he is, and his head is bobbling back and forth as he makes his way over to you, Ukoda, and it drops it on the ground as he sits down in front of the bone and stares up at you.
This can't be the beast these children are afraid of. I'll pick up the bone.
Perhaps you're not afraid of it, but ankle biters for y'all are knee biters for me and children.
I'm gonna pick up the bone. I'm gonna walk out here and chuck it down the stairs.
That is so mean.
And he goes, and you can hear him go down the stairs, and just with a gleeful pounce at the bottom of the stairs, and he comes back up the stairs with the bone, and his tail wagging, his white, sort of medium-length hair, kind of mussed up with his white with brown spots, as he looks up with big brown eyes at you.
I want to put out and then put down the lantern that I'm carrying. Forgot I had it.
Okay.
And pick up the puppy and inspect it, see if there's anything unusual.
Okay. Make your
Is
perception
that
check.
what you do with puppies?
Make your perception check.
We're in a house where there's supposed to be a beast. I'm not taking anything to chance.
That's how you find out the gender.
I want to look around the room. I want to try to see if I can figure out how long this puppy has been in here and if there's a mess everywhere. Because
That's an 8.
I don't want to step in dog shit, okay?
That's an 8.
Okay, so as you're looking around the room in the southwest corner, underneath the chair, there is a big old piddle.
Well, I guess it's not a ghost dog.
So, Ciertus, what did you get for your perception check with the dog?
An 8.
It's a boy. Your gender reveal party was a success.
Okay, I put the dog away and walk into the room. I put the
Actually-
dog down and walk into the room.
I was about to say,
In
put it away.
in hindsight, every fireplace, were they well stocked with wood?
Oh, yes, indeed. Every single one of them. They all look like
And-
as if they're waiting for somebody to come home and yes,
Okay.
every single
And
fireplace that you've come across has been completely soot-free, like it's been freshly cleaned and swept out, maybe even mopped out. There's no sign of ash or debris at all, and fresh wood in each one.
So theoretically, what happens if we go ahead and light every single fireplace? Will we just be very toasty, or perhaps it will show something about the house?
Would we need to light them in order? Is there a specific order to them?
I say no. Let's light this bitch up.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go out and light the one in the hall.
Okay, so
I'll go light the one in here.
Okay, so
I'll go downstairs and light one.
okay, so making
Ooh,
your way back
splitting up.
downstairs, the puppy follows you. It just goes,
Oh.
it follows you down the stairs, and as you make your way back into the dining area.
And I'll light the one in the room with the harp. Why not?
Okay, so everybody has on them in their basic equipment. You have a tinderbox with you. There's a tinderbox beside each hearth as well. The ones beside each fireplace, beside each hearth, is actually a little bit nicer than yours. They're ebony and alabaster and beautifully made. And there's tinder in the bottom underneath the logs, and as you all and create the sparks and the fires come to life, warm glow begins to emanate from each fireplace, each hearth.
I'm gonna play with the dog.
I'm gonna go down.
Steal the ebony fire matches.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the one from the hall here, and then I'm gonna go downstairs and light the one in the trophy room.
Okay.
I think that's the only one left so far.
I'm gonna return here and sit on the stairs going up. Just wait for everybody.
Okay.
I'll meet you over at the stairs.
And while I'm in here, I'm gonna go to the cupboard that had the crossbow in it, and take the crossbow.
Okay.
And take the heavy.
Which room had a heavy crossbow?
I think it was this door that was locked.
No, it was the trophy room had a hand crossbow.
Oh yeah.
A light crossbow and a heavy crossbow.
That is correct. Yes, you
left the heavy crossbow.
Why not? We're looting the place. I already took the pelts.
So
I'm going to take the heavy crossbow and the bolts.
Okay, and as you you started the fire in that room as well?
Yes.
Okay, so as you go and get the heavy crossbow and set it up on top of the little cabinet, and you stride across the room and you turn, and in the flickering firelight, it looks for a second as if the three stuffed taxidermied wolves in the room move for a second as the firelight glints off their eyes.
Okay, I'm going to get out of the. I'm going to get out of that room and back into this room, which I think Liliana's still in.
I'm just playing with the puppy.
And the dog.
Staring at the fire.
There are 3 more giant puppies in the other room. Come on.
Yeah. So I'm going to.
Did you close the door behind you?
Yes. Hell yes.
Okay, so a little bit of uncertainty. You pick up your newly acquired heavy crossbow, make your way out of the room, and just jiggle the handle real quick and push on it to make sure that the door is actually closed. You turn and for a second come to with a start as you see this puppy. It looks a little bit bigger because of the firelight dancing across the room. The shadow it's casting is kind of large as Liliana scoops it, bends down and scoops it up, and it's and it licks the side of your face once time. And it gets the side of your ear one time.
I'm
boy.
I'm gonna stop and say to Liliana, I think it might be best if we regroup with the rest of the party. Something isn't right here. I don't think we should separate. And
I shall follow you upstairs then.
go back upstairs.
Okay.
Since I'm still here, I want to go check out the piano.
A harpsichord? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, beautifully crafted oaks and mahoganies carved. Carved with the cover of it has a windmill carved on it. You look down inside where the strings are, and it's everything looks absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. There's not a speck of dust on anything. It looks as if somebody has just come in and polished the entire thing. You reach your hand inside and run your hands across the strings, just because it almost kind of reminds you of a type of coral you've seen before, and you and the sound of the strings resonate for a second as it kind of echoes and then dies down back into quiet again. And you hear the wind outside.
As we get to the top of the stairs, I want to turn to Ridry and say, Ridry, follow us. I think we need to come up with a plan. I think searching this house may not be a good idea to do room by room.
I believe you're right, but 1 second, I'll peek my head in here and look at Ukoda and say, can you go 5 minutes without causing a ruckus?
Sometimes I just like to touch things, little one.
Well, touch yourself.
What
Don't touch
is that?
everything else.
What is that
Is it
noise? Is
raining?
it raining?
These are windows, correct?
Yes, they are.
I will poke my head out a window.
The mist seems to have coalesced into a thicker, heavier mist closer to the ground. As you look up, the sun barely piercing through the dark clouds as rain begins spattering against the window panes.
Okay, I think I have a plan. I think we should investigate the rest of the house, if nothing seems... Oh,
You hear the cawing of a single raven outside. And then followed by, and as you look out the window and see the raven, you see what appears to be a bat chasing after the raven.
Do I notice
Did you
this?
say earlier? Outside?
We're all in this room now, aren't we?
Does anybody
sorry, what
else
was
get
that?
the feeling that we're not alone in this place?
I do.
Is this where everybody is? Where's?
I think we're
No,
all
we're
I
all...
think we're all in
back
here.
in
Right
you're all
here.
in the conservatory?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, Zach,
Um,
did I notice the bat chased over after the crow?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was.
Now, what my experience with taxidermied animals, maybe I know enough about their behaviors to realize that's not normal.
I don't know. Make a nature check.
Okay.
God damn, my voice is sexy.
I got a 13.
Can't disagree with you.
13? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of peculiar. That's kind of peculiar
Okay.
behavior for a bat. But then again, you haven't seen bats of that size before.
Wait, how big was it?
Its wingspan was at least 4 feet across.
Holy shit.
Whew.
That's bigger than me.
No, that
So-
is batty.
While
Still carrying the puppy, I'm going to look out the window because I believe Persephone said something about she saw children outside. So I'm going to look and see if I
Children?
can spot.
And maybe some kind of building out there. It was hard to tell with the fog.
while everyone's here, I'm going to turn to the group and say, I think we need to come up with a plan. Searching room to room doesn't seem to be a good idea.
Well,
Why not?
We've been told that there's a beast in this house. We don't know what type of beast or what it is.
well, we found one hidden compartment. I'll bet there's more.
I think we should
Well,
try
here's the
and
thing.
lure the beast to us instead of searching it out.
If there
Like,
is a
one that
beast, wouldn't it make sense to take care of it first so we're not taken off guard while we're looking through the house?
Well,
Yes.
the other thing, we found a beast, and I'll point at the puppy. Is the puppy still there?
Yes. No, it's actually still in Liliana's arms. She's carrying it around. It's
Well, the same.
That's not much of a beast. Trust me.
Well, if you think that's the beast, we can slay it and just be done with this place and leave.
Don't you
Actually-
dare!
I'm thinking the beast could be more useful than food. It could be-
I'll eye the puppy suspiciously. Does this look like the type of dog that wealthy people would own, or does this look like a off the streets mutt?
Oh, make a I guess that would be a nature check. Yeah, let's say nature. Because
20.
puppies are it looks actually quite elegant. It's a really really nice dog, and he's, aside from his hair being a little mussed, I mean, and having had an accident on the floor, he looks really happy to see all of you.
Does the dog seem a little on the skinny side, actually,
Little
as I come over to it and start probing it?
Actually, no, he looks like he's reasonably well fed.
Someone's fed this dog recently. It hasn't been starved. The house hasn't been abandoned for so long that it wouldn't have anything to eat.
He probably didn't taste any of it.
Touche. Miguel doesn't taste anything nowadays.
I'll bet he doesn't.
So what's the plan? Do we throw the puppy upstairs? Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, we'll throw the bone ahead of us and keep the dog in front of us. See what happens.
I was thinking more along the lines of trying to draw the beast towards us. Going back downstairs to somewhere we can control.
Well, we can
and
just,
try and lure it out.
we can
All right,
clear
so
the way in front of us with this puppy.
So
No,
we'll basically
we are not
go.
tempting a beast with a puppy.
Oh, let
Well-
me on it. That is why you are our cleric.
Well,
To
we
be fair, you don't know if
blood I found to work.
we need blood. Well, we got a puppy.
What?
I don't think you can separate that
you-
puppy from Liliana.
No.
Why are
Just,
you so attached
look.
to the beast? You've just met it.
Okay.
For all you know, it doesn't even like your god.
Ay, ay, ay. Okay,
All in favor of
Characters have the
slaying the
plan.
puppy?
Yeah. stop it, Ridry. Stop it now.
Miguel and I can go upstairs, and if we sense any trouble, we will run back downstairs for you to slay the beast. How about that?
Well,
I still
before-
think we should use the least valuable living creature here, which would be
Oh,
Ridry.
you!
the puppy.
You're volunteering, Ridry?
Well, before we go jumping to slaying solutions, there's things we haven't checked, and I'm gonna start heading out this way and heading back into this room.
Okay.
Have we looked into these footlockers?
Yes,
I
you
believe
have.
we did. Yes.
Yes, you did.
We have.
Okay.
As you're in the
Oh,
room,
wait.
as you're in the room, make another perception check. Ukota.
Working on it.
Key artist, you said you had a plan,
14.
yes? It involved
14.
blood?
There's been something strange about this. There's been something strange about this entire nonsense, this entire business. But there's something that you haven't been able to place. But standing in this room, there's the distinct smell. Something that you've smelled before on the ocean. One time when you smelled a ship on fire. Sailors were on the sea. When you were very young and their ship was on fire. The smell of burned wood.
I'm gonna look at the bed frames.
Old burned wood. Do your perception check.
Oh, shit. Six.
The beds, aside from looking slightly unmade, are in perfect order that you can see. There's no sign of. You can smell the smell of old burned wood all around you, but you can't really tell which direction it's coming from.
I'll give a shout for the rest and say, "Come smell this. Lend me thy nose."
Oh, Lord.
Um,
I'll walk in.
I'm gonna move towards this room.
Trying to like track it like a dog. Can I track it down where it's stronger and where it's not?
What if we use the dog?
I was just going to say that. Good idea. I will bring the puppy into the room and set the... All right, now.
Wait, where are you setting the puppy?
In the room with the 2 beds.
Okay, just sitting in the middle of the floor.
I'd like to open this
He's
closet.
said to use the dog to smell the area.
Okay.
Maybe the dog will have...
Actually, for future reference, this puppy probably belonged to the children. If we're in the children's room, then we should probably set him down there as well.
Back in that, when you open the door, that's their tidy servants' uniforms hanging from hooks, and it looks like it's looks like a closet. There's looks to be a full week's worth of uniforms, cleaned and pressed and ready to go in there.
Okay.
So, looking at the staircase for just a moment, like this is a 2-story home, correct? There's not a 3rd story.
No, there's a set of stairs that goes up.
Yeah, I thought we were waiting on that.
Yeah, there's a 3rd floor. You could see it clearly from the outside.
Well, we haven't even checked upstairs yet, so let's go ahead and do that.
That's what we were talking about when we were talking about having someone go up ahead.
I will go.
I already volunteered with Miguel.
Then I will go.
I think if we are going to go, we should all go together.
What happened to the drawing people out?
You seem to have decided not to do that. So if we're gonna do it this way, we should stick together.
Well, you want to debate with blood, and nobody's going to make a sacrifice, so
A drop of blood.
You just want to sacrifice the puppy.
So you begin. So,
I'm going to leave the puppy in the children.
where?
In the
No, bring the
children's room.
puppy with
I
us.
do not want it to.
That's the
Do you not
servant.
want the puppy to
That's
get
servant's
hurt?
room.
Well, the room with the 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
No.
there are servants' clothes hanging in the closet.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I
I'll
feel
just-
like if the puppy is in danger, he'll start growling, and then we will know when there's danger. This puppy knows more about this house than we do. You can keep the puppy safe. I have all the faith in you.
are any of
Okay,
the servants'
I'll carry the
clothes
puppy upstairs.
halfling size?
There is a what appears to be a maid's outfit that looks like it might fit you.
I will go ahead and put that on over my armor.
Okay, which is probably a good idea because it looks like it runs a little big because it's human sized, but yeah, you are able to easily. It only takes a couple of minutes for you to put on this. It's actually a black with a white apron, like a French maid outfit.
Excellent.
It fits very neatly over your armor. It's actually quite a fetching ensemble.
Does he have a matching feather duster?
There is one in the room. I mean, if he wants to pick it up and carry it with him, he certainly can.
I'll put it in my belt. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Outstanding. Okay, so again, Persephone and Ukoda taking the lead along with Miguel. Make your way up the stairs. And you find yourself in what looks to be a balcony overlooking the stairs that you had just come up. A single suit of armor against the wall.
Does this suit look different than the suits downstairs?
Looks pretty much the same, perhaps a little darker.
Is it like the others that's holding a spear?
This one is actually draped in cobwebs as you start looking at it.
That's weird. Wasn't the rest of the house all neat and tidy?
Perhaps we're getting closer to the truth of this place.
On either
Perhaps.
side of the suit of armor, there are oil lamps mounted on oak paneled walls. The wood paneling is carved with woodland scenes of trees and falling leaves, tiny creatures.
I'll light the lamp so I can see the carvings
So
better.
you're moving over to the lamp.
Yeah.
Have we all decided to go upstairs?
Have you?
Um,
What the puppy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
said I
assumed
was
we
gonna-
were all following, yeah.
so
yeah, I'm up there.
So, as you step to light the oil lamp and you move within 5 feet of the suit of armor, it lashes out with a 16 to hit.
Whoa!
That hits.
For 2 points of damage.
Ow.
And I need everybody to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Now we're talking.
Oh god! Oh god! Okay. Oh god! What do I do with the puppy? What do I do with the puppy?
Okay, my
Kill the
initiative.
puppy!
You let it go. That's what you do.
My initiative's 19.
Mine's 8.
Okay, 1 second. Let's see.
And
Wait, hold on a second. 20 to 25.
Oh.
15 to 20.
18.
18.
Do we add the proficiency?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. 15.
Oh wait, so it's the initiative and the proficiency bonus?
It depends on your class, but your initiative is typically just your dexterity modifier.
Okay, so
Mine's,
for me it says +3.
Okay, that's what you'll add then. Okay, so who's 18? Call out your name. Don't just say me.
Ukota's 18.
Okay.
I got 19.
19 for name. Call your name.
Kyortis.
I,
Kiertis. Okay. Okay. And who else got an 18? Somebody else did?
no, I'm knocked down to 17.
Okay. Persephone.
Liliana's 15.
Persephone 17.
Persephone 17. 15 is who? Is
Liliana.
Liliana. Okay. And then it was 8 for Ridri.
Yep.
Okay. So as all of a sudden this armor comes to life and brings what appears to be a slightly rusty short sword down onto Ridri's shoulder plate or actually on the shoulder strap of his maid's gown. And
That's what you get for not
slice-
touching it.
slices into his shoulder. Let's see, Ciertus, what are you doing? You came up.
I'm going.
You came up the stairs, but well,
Yeah,
Where?
I'm here.
okay. So what do you want to do?
Attack with my bow.
Okay, roll to hit.
That is 18.
Uh,
18 to hit.
Hold on.
Huh?
Oh, does Leilana's holy water still count?
I think
The blast?
No, I think-
long
I
gone.
think-
Gone.
Yo, Bless is long gone.
I thought that was on dependent on what God says.
It's concentration.
No. Yeah, it's Bless is long gone.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that was
Yep, concentration up to a minute.
and it's been at least a half an hour since you guys
Yeah.
since that was cast. Okay, so okay, wait, what'd you roll to hit?
18.
Okay, that hits.
And I need to roll the d8. That is 6.
Super. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. Okay, that will Ukota, what do you want to do there? As as a shot rings out and clang and clangs into this animated armor.
I'm gonna get as far up the steps as far in a corner as I can without hitting the steps.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll the spear around so the blunt side's facing. I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Ooh.
Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to hit.
12 does not hit. So
Fuck.
your Eldritch Blast scorches off of the. It hits the armor, but is deflected by the shiny steel. And it doesn't appear to have. It does not appear to penetrate him at all. Persephone.
So I take Miguel and I put him in the crook of my arm, and with my open arm, I'm going to do a chill touch after I run to the other end of the balcony,
Okay.
out of reach of any other characters.
Okay, so right around here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so your chill touch. That's a ranged attack, right?
Yeah, that's
Is that roll
13
13 to hit?
to hit. Yes.
13 total with all your modifiers?
Oh, but what other modifiers do I use?
You rolled a 13 plus your magic what is it? Your
Intelligence.
your magic DC
My
or your
You
Where-
have your
where
character
would
sheet
my-
there, don't you?
yeah, I have my character sheet in front of me too. I'm just trying to figure out, like, for a wizard, what it is.
I'm not used to.
Is it intelligence for me?
Is it intelligence for you or plus
Yeah, intelligence is my highest modifier, so I assume so.
yeah. Oh yes. So we're just gonna add your intelligence to it now for now. So it's 13
Okay,
plus 3 is 16.
That's 16. Yeah.
16. Your your chill touch, the hand appears in the air and races towards it, and as the Eldritch Blast is kind of crackling and fizzling away, it reaches into the armor and out the other side and hits the wall, and you see like necrotic energy begin to spiral and spread throughout the wall, but it doesn't seem to hit the armor at all.
Guys, I don't think magic will actually damage this thing.
Leilani, what are you doing there?
Liliana.
Liliana.
Okay. I still have the puppy in my arm. I'm going to fire Sacred Flame.
Okay. All right, so moving to the top of the stairs and calling forth the Sacred Flame.
That is a 19 to hit.
19 does hit it. The flame bursts out
Nice.
and hits the ground in front of it and seems to wind its way up through the armor and comes shooting out its neck for how much damage?
It's 1d8. Okay. Hold on.
1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Modifier or spell attack?
That's your modifier, your spell attack. 1d8 plus.
Okay, 7.
So 7 total? I say 7 as the flames go roaring out the sides of its neck and through the eye slit of the armor. Okay. Ridri, what are you doing there, buddy?
I am going to pull out my rapier and dagger and 2-weapon fighting attack this thing with both of them.
Okay.
That would be... That's a 12 for the rapier. And yeah, I'm not hitting this thing. That's a 10.
10? Okay.
We never know.
Okay. As the armor reaches down. Oh, okay. With a 16 to hit with his grapple attack, he grabs you by the throat and lifts you into the air, and takes 4 steps forward, and goes to drop you off the edge of the balcony down the stairs.
Ooh.
You gonna take a reaction? You can take a reaction right now if you want to do something. You want to try to do something?
Okay, I'd like to. Dang, what do I want? I'd like to.
He's already let go. He's already let go of you. You got to think of something. What are you doing?
I'd like to grab onto the railing.
Okay, cool. Make just a general dexterity check.
Okay. That is
+4 because your dexterity.
23.
23. So yes, as he lets you go, and he's like, you're about to go plummeting down the red marble stairs to the stone below. As you're falling, you're able to and grab onto the railing as you and sling up against the wall. Don't take any damage. It hurts a little bit, but you're holding on as the animated armor begins to look to the right towards Persephone.
Kill this thing! Kill it!
Put it with fire.
Siertas, what are you doing?
I'm gonna move to here. Does
Okay.
that put me out the 5?
Each one of these squares are 10 feet, by the way.
Okay. So move to here and then attack with the bow again.
Okay, cool. Roll to hit.
That is a 9.
9 to hit? Wait a minute. What'd you roll?
A 4.
Oh shit. Okay. So as you're moving and getting yourself situated, as this thing is moving and dropping your companion Ridri over the side, you gasp for a second, and it catches you off guard as your arrow clang, clatters off of the stairwell, hitting nothing. Ukota.
I'm going to try to position. So it's now standing out in the open, correct?
Yep.
And Ridri's no longer on the edge.
No, Ridri's
On the edge.
he's hanging. He's down below.
Okay, then I'm going to stand off to his side a bit,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast Frostbite.
Okay, cool. Do it.
It's a con save 13.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Oh, which he rolls a 2 with a constitution. So it's a 3, so he fails. So
Okay, so he takes 1d6 damage, has disadvantage on the next weapon attack before the end of its next turn.
okay. So roll
So
that damage.
That's a 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. As the frost up the side of him, and he's turning and looking at Persephone, and Persephone, you can see him begin to slow as the frost begins overtaking him. Persephone, what do you want to do?
Okay, so I'm gonna do a magic spell and then I'm gonna move. Am I allowed to do that?
Absolutely. You've got an action, bonus action, and movement. You can do those in any order you want.
Okay, well, I'm gonna use Mage Hand. I'm gonna lift off the helmet and throw it down the stairs, and then I'm gonna move from my position to where he was once standing.
Okay, so you're gonna try to use your mage hand to unhelmet him?
Pretty much, yeah, and throw his head downstairs.
Okay. Okay, so go ahead and let's see. And make a save against that. Oh, okay. So the mage hand lifts the helmet up, and it's able to lift it and stretch it, and you can see the magic that's holding this armor together begin to stretch taut for a moment.
Well, actually, with that, then I'm going to keep my position and just hold the mage hand and keep it taut, so perhaps someone can disconnect it.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right.
I'll hold my position then.
Leliana, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna do another sacred flame. I still have the puppy.
Okay, cool. You can do Sacred Flame one-handed.
Oh no! That's a natural one!
Oh.
No!
So as
I'm so concerned with this puppy.
the puppy in your hands is terribly excited and kind of scared by this and begins wiggling and wriggling as the Sacred Flame begins to manifest in your hands as you're getting ready to discharge it in the direction of this animated armor. The puppy wiggles and slips and bam, hits the ground and begins tumbling down the stairs, and you panic, and the sacred flame shoots straight up into the ceiling, and bits of the ceiling fall down on top of Ukoda.
Oh no!
As the puppy's struggling to get his feet back under him as he's rolling down the stairs.
No one will blame you if you try to save the puppy.
Ridri, what are you doing as this puppy rolls past you down the stairs? You're hanging there from the.
So I'm hanging there. I see the puppy rolling down.
Moment of truth, bro.
I'm gonna yell, "You should have just used the puppy!" And then I'm gonna attempt to.
You jerk!
I'm gonna attempt to jump from the railing to the other side of the stairs here.
Okay, just do an athletics check.
Okay.
Athletics or acrobatics, I'll let you choose because that's kind of pretty. Either one, either one would be whichever one is higher for you.
Okay, that would be 18.
18 with no issue whatsoever. You're able to and fling yourself backwards and land in almost a free 3-point stance on the stairs.
I would like to use my bonus action to rip off the maid's outfit that is now ruined.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
You still got movement. You could still move if you want to. That's action.
I want to be on those stairs.
Okay, cool. Okay. So, the animated armor is standing there at the stairs, the mage hand pulling its helmet up, the magic crackling green, a sickly green in between as its head is looking like it could be torn away from the rest of its animated armor body, and it takes a massive swing at this perceived threat as he sees Persephone holding the mage hand aloft, and goes to do an attack with its sword, and completely misses and crushes part of the railing where Ridri was just hanging. As he misses with and the parts of the railing go tumbling down into the space below.
Top of the puppy.
And that's the end of his turn. Ciertus.
Again, gonna attack with a bow.
Okay. Another arrow knocked. Pull back the bowstring and you let it fly. And
a 19.
19 does hit it.
For 10 damage.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And tell me how he dies.
There we go.
He falls forward over the balcony and falls right.
So again, as your arrow finds its mark and glances off the shoulder piece and ricochets up into the top of the helmet, being held aloft by Persephone's mage hand, the helmet comes loose as the force of it rips the head off of it as the armor collapses, and right through where it had just smash the railing, you hear clang, 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 as bits of armor scatter all over the floor below.
So please tell me it's still in my mage hand.
The helmet is still being held aloft by your mage hand.
I'm taking off Miguel's top hat and I'm putting him in the helmet.
Okay.
Are we still in initiative or no?
No.
Go get your puppy.
Okay, I'm running after the puppy.
Okay, as you make your way down the stairs. But anyway, here it's let's see. This is what you were just fighting.
No.
Not quite that shiny, but it was a darkened version of that, but yes.
That's gnarly.
Ouch.
I was trying to figure out how to show that to you before we started. I was like, it wouldn't let me access it. But I was like, it's like, fuck you, roll 20. Fuck you.
No.
But all right, now you know. So again, a quiet comes over this room as this balcony area. What would you like to do?
I would like to
I've got
ask
the
our
puppy.
cleric for some healing.
I don't know if I should, since you wanted to sit there and use the puppy as bait. I'm just cuddling.
Well,
with
if we had
darling.
used the puppy as bait, you wouldn't have accidentally assaulted our fish friend.
I understand
First
that
of
it
all,
wasn't.
I was the one who said I wanted to put the dog in safety in one of those rooms, and I was told to bring it with us.
I still think it's a good idea to bring him with us. So, you know.
As bait, right?
Has he come running back up the steps yet?
No,
I think I have him.
She ran down and grabbed him. He was sitting there. He was sitting on the stair. He was sitting about
I'm
halfway
still
down,
standing
and he
here,
started. And he was sitting on the stairs, kind of pouting and whimpering until Leliana went and grabbed him. So you were saying there, Kiertis, what do you want to do?
I'm still here. I want to look behind me and see what's up this way.
Okay. You look down
Okay,
and
so-
you see a hallway. There's a set of double doors. Let's see. There's a set of double doors to the right and a single door to the left. There is on the other side of this, there was you would have noticed this in your there were two doors here as well. So there are, in this area, there are 3 smaller single doors and a large set of double doors.
I'm going to go ahead and walk over to Ridgery and cast Cure Wounds. And that's going to be...
Nice one.
Yeah, that's
That's
Not the
going
same
to
now.
be- that will be 10. 10 hit HP.
Oh,
I feel
shit.
You heal
great.
10.
Wow.
Nice.
You're lucky I did that for you.
Much appreciated. Still think we should use the dog.
I smack him across the back of the head.
For 1 point of damage.
Oh, you can smack him on the back of the head? Roll the hit.
Yep.
No.
I am now going...
Okay. Okay. So what would you guys like to do?
I'm just going to stand up here and wait for everyone else to come back up to the balcony.
I'll go ahead and light these torches again.
Okay. They come to life, and the dim light that was here, it becomes like dim light, as it's now bathed in a nice orangey yellow glow, making this seem a bit warmer.
I'd like to inspect the carvings on the wall a little closer.
I want to go down and inspect inspect this door at the bottom here.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow him.
As you. Okay. As you're looking at the paneled walls, there's again scenes of trees, falling leaves. Go ahead and make everybody who's inspecting that corner and those walls, make a perception check.
By corner, do you mean the door area?
5. Yeah, this area right here.
All of this, yes.
Okay.
23.
12.
Oh, not one.
Okay.
I'm not paying attention. I'm excited about Miguel's new helmet.
There's so wait, what are the perception checks again?
I got
Gregory
20.
got 5.
5.
Persephone 1.
So 5, 5, and 1.
I got a 23.
23. So everybody else is kind of is looking around and just admiring the quality of the craftsmanship of these paneled walls. When Kieritis is stands back looking in horror, and we notice that and in these beautiful trees there are tiny corpses hanging from them and worms bursting up through the ground hidden in the paneling. And you also notice as you're looking around this area that there's a crack in the paneling right here. Kieritis.
Okay, I'm going to turn to Persephone and say, there's something in the paneling that you might find interesting. Look in the trees.
Okay. I look in the trees and my face lights up in glee. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty!
Yeah, as you
And then
there are it looks to be hidden among the falling leaves and the woodland creatures carved hanging from the trees. It looks to be possibly hundreds of infants hanging from the trees.
Ooh.
Look.
Tiny corpses.
I'm
I
sensing
told
a
you there
theme
was
here.
Something about children in this house.
Do you think it has something to do with the child downstairs? The infant? What if
I don't.
the magic user or whomever that owns this domain is the wife that is scornful over that infant?
The abyss hath no fury.
That very well could be
But
true.
why would she be using fake necromancy books?
Perhaps the husband was the one that wanted to raise the child again, and the wife did not. What if the wife was the magic user and the husband was not? She would try to appease him somehow if she still cared for him, even if she didn't want it to come back.
So you're suggesting that perhaps she switched the books, gave
It's
him a sense
possible.
of hope, but oh dear.
Yeah, it sounds a little dark even for me.
while they're talking, I want to inspect the crack in the wall.
Yeah, the crack in the wall that you found, because of your super high perception check, you pushing past the disgust you feel about seeing these tiny, these infant corpses hanging from trees in the paneling, you reach out a hand and work your fingers back behind this little crack in the paneling that you see and give it a small tug, and then it doesn't move, and then you push on it and you find a hidden stairway back behind, cobweb filled wooden staircase that seems to lead up.
I turn to the rest of the group and tell them, there's another secret entrance here. Seems to be a stairway leading up.
Should we leave that for later and explore the rest of the level?
I suppose, but let's take note of that.
Yes.
And perhaps unlock it on our map.
Or perhaps close the door for now and come back to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna close the door.
As everybody takes a good look inside and sees the cobwebs in the staircase that leads up.
I just realized something. If everything up here has cobwebs and everything and things seem more dangerous up here, when downstairs there were no cobwebs, everything was immaculate and it wasn't dangerous, maybe that's a defining point that we should be on our toes.
That could be something.
So you're saying to be afraid of the cobwebs?
Not necessarily the cobwebs, you smart ass. And she smacks you on the ass.
Ha 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 ha. Okay.
Well, do we proceed through door number 1 or door number 2?
I want to look through this door here.
Okay.
Ridgery, you know what to do.
I will check the door for traps.
Make your perception check.
That is a 12.
12?
Yeah, I feel.
It's a door.
Yeah.
It's definitely a door.
Yeah. Somebody else needs to be checking for traps.
Maybe I should be doing the perception checks from now on.
Well, if I walk up and try is it a latch or a handle?
It's just a handle.
I'm gonna try to tug it.
Nope. It.
So this door is locked.
Nothing happens when you pull it.
What if I try to push it? Yeah.
What if we burn it down?
No.
It
Not my
didn't have.
character.
It didn't have the sign like on the gas stations. I didn't know.
What is,
So again,
what is a gas station?
So
It's a station that gives you gas.
It's a swamp.
so the door swings open, and dust and cobwebs shroud an elegantly appointed bedroom, and let's see.
I wanna go light the
It
fireplace.
looks to be it looks to be there are bottles and fresh diapers laid out on a counter. It appears to be a perhaps a nursemaid's bedroom.
I'm going to go light the fireplace.
You know.
You shove the puppy in your hands.
Yes. I am not putting that puppy down.
As Persephone walks past me, I'm gonna say, like whisper, beware the cobwebs.
I find them to be rather pretty, but I will be rather hesitant about them.
Anyway, the bedroom contains a large bed, two end tables, and on the end tables are bottles that look like it would contain milk, or and other bottles that look like they would be for feeding an infant, and a few fresh clean diapers. There's a wardrobe, and mounted next to the wall is a full-length mirror with an ornate wooden frame carved to look like ivy and berries.
So, at the wardrobe, if I were to open it up, does it have baby clothes inside?
The wardrobe is, as you open it up and look inside, is completely empty.
What are these
Do I
doors?
see?
I'm sorry?
The doors? Are these doors?
Yes, they are.
I'd like to open this one.
So, as you open the door and light spills into this room, there is what looks to be a nursery, a crib with with a single small stuffed animal in an empty crib.
I'd like to inspect the room thoroughly.
As you move to the bed, as you move towards the crib, and you look down inside. Stay away from the baby, you hear from behind you.
I very slowly turn to see where that came from.
Behind you is the spectral, spectral image of a woman, dressed in nursemaid's clothes.
Does the nursemaid appear affected by Ridry's fellow nurse outfit?
Oh, he ripped it off.
Okay.
It was ruined.
I
Ruined.
missed that part.
Yeah, he ripped it off as his bonus action during the fight because the shoulder straps were ruined.
Persephone?
I have been nursemaid to the Dursts for all 6 of their children.
6?
All 6? I thought they only had 3.
Move away from the baby.
There's no baby here.
As she moves in closer to your face, and you can see through her, but as she opens her mouth, rows of jagged teeth move to your face.
Actually, miss, are there, where are the infants' clothes? We are here to take care of them.
I'm gonna, like, run out of this room.
As you run out of the room, she turns and she's like, "Oh, you've come to see the child, have you?" And she returns to a very prim and proper yet spectral looking woman. She still looks to be very ghostly, but she has assumed a much more natural and at ease approach. She's like, "The clothes are probably with children. The Dursts have taken them away for the weekend."
Do you have a wardrobe for the children, perhaps?
Yes, their clothes are normally in the wardrobe. But as I've said, but as I've said, the Dursts have taken them away for the weekend. And you want to? What did you?
I rechecked the wardrobe. Are the clothes back in there now, or still now?
There is nothing in the wardrobe.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
I want to ask, could you tell us the children's names?
Well, of course. There's Rose and Thorn.
How could the Dursts have taken them away if they're outside?
Well, hold on. She said there were 6 children. She just named 2.
Well, perhaps the other 4 are dead.
They still have names.
Not unless they were.
She's obviously dead, and she's right in front of us.
Dead? No. I'm not dead. I'm here waiting for the children to return. They should return. They should return with my Walter too.
Oh yes. Who were the other 4? And who's Walter?
As she says that, her hands go to her mouth. No. I mean, Mrs. Durst's Walter, not my Walter.
Mm-hmm.
You're the mother of the stillborn, are you not?
I don't know whatever you mean. I don't know whatever you mean. As she
Wait.
begins to spiral and spin and weep uncontrollably and goes up through the ceiling. And gives a tortured scream as she disappears upstairs.
You're not one to try to get information, are you?
Well, that was uncomfortable.
Okay. So she's the mother of the stillborn mentioned in the letter.
Well, you-
Okay.
Walter,
As you standing
Wait,
here, as you're
wait a
standing,
minute, wait a
as you're
minute.
standing here talking, you hear a kung, 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 and you turn and look back over your shoulder, and the door to the nursery that you had just been in, it's kind of blowing as if in a breeze, kind of, but it's banging, but it's not closing all the way, and then it stops, and the door opens all the way.
As a side note, I'm gonna pick up the teddy and the crib.
As you walk over to the crib, now you see a tightly wrapped, baby-sized bundle lying in the crib.
I open up the bundle.
When you go to lift the bundle up, it collapses, the blanket unrolls, and there is nothing there.
Can I go back into the main room with the bed?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm going to stuff a pillow in there and pretend it is the baby.
Okay.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
step into this room and look out this window.
Wait, you're gonna step in. Okay, you're looking out the window here.
Yeah, I want to see what's out here.
There's a look out there. You can see what looks to be a balcony that overlooks the front of the house. As you look out this window,
Do I still see the fog?
yeah, you can see the fog, and it's kind of rolling up over the edges of the balcony and then rolling, but you can still see the rain falling. The balcony looks to be covered from upstairs, or from above. The roof goes over this balcony. The balcony being splashed by bits of water, and you can see the dark clouds in the sky. You can see out the front. You can see barely making out the road you wandered up in the fog, now being like little rivulets of water moving down the street.
I
I'm
find
gonna
it
look at the party
peculiar.
and say that I just realized the engraving of the family said the father's name was Gustav. Who the hell is Walter?
The baby.
If I had to guess, she's sleeping with one of the children.
Ah, the baby. Of course.
I also find it peculiar that the fog does not affect the balcony.
There's many things peculiar of this place.
I'm not going outside to test it.
There is a set of doors.
Let's continue
Oh.
inside. I'm gonna head back out here towards these doors.
Okay, so making your way back across where the armor had stood before. What you want to do?
I want to go to this single door right here.
Okay, and what are you? I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I
Just
want to
gonna-
check this door.
I'm just gonna open it up because it looks.
And if I may,
Yes.
I'd like to look under the bed too. Is there anything under the bed?
Under the bed, as you lean down and you're looking underneath, there's from the underside of the bed, there's large dust bunnies, a thick layer of dust and cobwebs hanging from the bottom side of the bed as the spider hits the floor and scurries.
I was told to be warned of those. I run away.
Okay. Okay. And Ridri, you're up here as the door you flung open. And this room darkened contains a wooden tub with clawed feet and a small iron stove with a kettle resting on top of it, and a barrel under a spigot in the wall. There's piping that comes from the roof, probably from a cistern that's used to collect rainwater. As you, Ciertis, throw open the other door on the other side, you find a storage room. Dusty shelves line the wall. A few of the shelves have folded sheets, blankets, old bars of soap. A cobweb-covered broom leans against the far wall. Various household supplies.
I want to look through the household supplies for needle and thread.
Okay, cool. Make actually, you know what? You don't even have to make a check for that because it's in there. So, I mean, and you've got time. You take a couple of minutes and poking around through all the stuff. Dust kind of billows up and kind of chokes your face for a moment. But after a few moments, you do find a little metal tin that's got some needle and thread inside.
Okay, I'm gonna just take it and put it in my pack,
Easily done. Okay.
and then leave the room.
Okay.
Is this investigation, all of this looking around, that constitutes as a short rest, right?
And short rest is an hour, so I mean,
Oh.
it hasn't quite been an hour yet.
I mean, we can if you'd like. Do you want us to, like, wait around and just relax for a moment before we continue? Liliana, you look a little stressed.
You might need to give that dog a
Well,
bath.
I would like to, have my spells back. That'd be great. In
So
case
you can
anybody else
assault
needs
Dakota
healing.
again?
God, may we take a rest?
Oh, that's up to you. You can do whatever you want.
If Liliana needs a rest, I support her.
Okay. So where would you like to take this rest?
We have a bed.
Yeah, we might as well just go back into that room. I'm just gonna play with the dog absentmindedly for a little bit,
Okay. So
thinking on everything that we've come across.
I'm gonna pull out some rations and have something to eat.
I was actually
You
about
know,
to say
secretly.
something about that. So
You know, secretly, I wanted to dress the dog up in baby clothes, just so you know. That's why I
That
was
would've been
looking so
cute.
hard.
Actually, while they're doing that, I want to go back out onto here into the balcony
uh-huh.
and search for my arrows that I fired.
Okay, absolutely.
If I
Yeah,
can
it's without an issue. While this isn't a strenuous activity, this is something you can do while taking a short rest. You're able to easily find your arrows. The one that was hanging, that had glanced off the armor, you're able to find it about halfway down the stairs. You're an accomplished archer. You know to keep your eye on your trajectory and where your arrows land, and you're able to recover them all completely unbroken. So, yeah, that's without issue.
I'm also going to eat some rations, and I'm just going to be posted up outside here because I don't want to be around the dog. Or the room where the banshee was.
Yeah, so while they're doing that, I'm gonna sit here and pull out the squirrel hides that I'd got before and start making some, like, using the needle and thread to make them into like a wallet or like a small bag.
Okay, cool. Hell yeah. All right. Cool. You can definitely get that done within the hour. You know, taking a moment to catch a breather. You're all. It's You know.
I'm also, whenever I'm done, I'm going to put the squirrel bones into the bag.
Okay, right on.
You can always give them to me.
When you
That's the plan.
and as the hour goes on, you know, and you're taking a break and you're all becoming used to the sounds, the house, it's creaking. The sounds of pipes, door opening and closing in the distance. What is that?
That was me. Sorry.
No, you're hearing the sounds of doors opening and closing in the distance.
In the house, or
in the house.
That's not good.
Perhaps footsteps a long way off. You all become faintly aware, and it grows more and more acutely. You grow more and more acutely aware of the smell of burned wood, not from a fireplace, but more on the scale of a structure fire.
I want to look over the ledge and see if I can see anyone coming up the stairs.
As you look over the ledge, you see the fires from the hearth below, where you had set the fires.
Motherfucker.
The flames and the light flickering off of the marble tiled floors.
Shall we go downstairs and take care of that, or shall we continue on and pretend it's not there?
The flames are spreading, you mean?
What's that now?
Do you say the flames are spreading?
No, he said they were like
the light from them is
casting the light on the floor.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna run into the bedroom with the bed, rip off the comforter and the sheets, and I'm gonna see if I can go downstairs and perhaps douse out the fires.
Okay.
Well, as she's running past and I see her, I'm going to ask her what she's going to do.
I'm gonna try to put out the fires before we continue on. We don't want to burn down in the house as we're investigating it.
Okay. Has Ridry told us about the bathroom here?
Well, I asked if anybody needed a bath. Probably the dog. But...
Okay, I'm going to suggest
The dog is fine.
There's a bathroom there with water. Would that not be better for putting out fires?
I mean, it could work just as well. The point of the blankets is to suffocate the fires. Water suffocates it faster.
Okay, I'm gonna go and grab the kettle and fill it up with water from
okay as
the
you
frigate here.
And you try to get, and there's nothing. It's, you hear pipes creak, but nothing comes out.
Okay, I go back outside here
I'm
and
certain this place is nothing more than an illusion. I'm beginning to get that feeling.
I'll yell up the stairs as I go downstairs to douse the fires. Use the bed sheets and the crib sheets.
okay, I'm gonna go into the closet here and like take the spare sheets from in there and go down the stairs.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna turn to Liliana and say, if this whole place is nothing but an illusion, then perhaps that's a giant rat and not a dog at all.
Touche.
So making your way back downstairs, you go to...
I'm gonna go to this one here.
Okay.
Put out the fire.
And let's see. So, taking in the logs still burning merrily away, you go and begin stuffing sheets on top of this.
No, we don't stuff the sheets. We try to snuffle the sheets.
So like smother the fire, put it out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So, as you place the sheets over the fires, there,
Oh no.
Yeah. They start catching on fire. So, they begin starting with just the edges, and then more and more they billow and billow.
You know, I'm gonna use chill touch on all the fire. Just chill touch. Freeze everything.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to
So much for a
throw the
short
blanket.
rest.
Throw the blanket into the fire, pull out my short sword, and kind of just push it all into the fireplace.
Okay.
Stop it from forgetting.
Okay, so the chill touch. Chill touch is a deceptive title for a spell because it's actually does necrotic damage. So
Oh, so it doesn't do.
So as you reach out with your chill touch, the wood that's in the fireplace that hasn't burned yet begins rotting rapidly.
I'm gonna run back upstairs and pretend nothing ever happened.
But what it does do is the necrotic damage to the wood in the fireplace consumes the rest of the wood before it can turn into flame. So it begins rotting the wood away immediately. And it actually does manage to, it doesn't freeze it, but it does manage to snuff out the rest of the fuel for the fire. So it does slow its burning. So, bravo.
So, if I go down one more level, is that fireplace out of control, or is it still kind of behaving more or less?
It's like actually a beautiful holiday fire. It looks like it's burning away in the hearth.
And every other fireplace, it's not burning us down. It is just sitting in place as it should.
I'll make a perception check.
Motherfucker.
Right. While she's doing that, I'm still with the sword trying to make sure the flame doesn't spread outside of the fireplace.
That's 12, by the way.
Okay. It's all the fireplaces seem to be burning quite normally. Everything seems to be under control.
All right.
You were actually able to get the sheets in. They flare momentarily, but they're sheets and they burn rather quickly. The linens and just seem to burn up, and what's left over burns in the fireplace, nice and steady. Doesn't seem as if there's anything.
Okay, I'm gonna go back out into the hall here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go back upstairs as well.
Okay, as you're able to go back up and join the rest of the party easily now. An hour has passed. Your short rest taken.
As we're going back up the stairs,
you can expend a hit die if you've taken damage from your hit points. You go ahead and do what you need to do with your spells. Cast it.
As Persephone and I are going up the stairs, I want to pull out the bag with the squirrel bones in it.
Okay.
Made of squirrel hide, and like hand it to her and say, "For your army," and then keep going up the stairs.
Cool.
You're awesome. Thank you. Persephone is suddenly, from being wary of like concern of the fire, she's suddenly elated and excited, and she has an energy about her. She adds the squirrel bones to her bag of bones.
Okay, roll a d20.
Uh-oh. What is this? I have a 4. Do I have any modifiers?
Nope, no. But as you're stuffing, you make your way to the top of the stairs, and you're just overjoyed, elated, delighted at this wonderful, unexpected gift. You hit the ground and are fast asleep.
Wow!
I'm gonna walk over and check on her, see if she's all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna like kind of nudge her and try and shake her awake.
She's got kind of a nasty bump on her head from hitting the marble floor, but other than that, she's breathing very heavily. She's body is completely limp.
What happened to her?
Any sign of the ghostly maid or any new apparition?
Taking a look around, it doesn't appear to be any that you see right away.
Let's see.
I'm gonna
Can we
nudge.
get Persephone into the bed or something, please? I don't want her sleeping on this hard floor.
Well, put down the dog and pick her up. I'm gonna nudge.
The dog is down, is running around.
I'm gonna nudge Ukoda and gesture towards these doors because I want to go open them.
Yeah, I was.
Well, we can't leave Persephone asleep. Why don't we? I'll tell you what. Go grab some water.
There is no water.
There's no water in here.
Nope.
No.
I'm gonna shake Persephone as hard as I can. Come on, dear, wake up. Wake up.
And she slowly starts, her eyelids flutter. And
What happened?
Good afternoon.
Hi. Where's my husband?
Are you all right?
I think I'm okay.
What happened? You just collapsed.
I think we were going upstairs to find the baby or something. I'm not too sure what happened.
Well, oh.
Okay, I help her stand.
I'm gonna walk over to this door.
okay.
Let's go that way. Like that seems important.
I'll help her up.
Okay. Again, not that difficult to do.
I'm going to knock on the door and listen for a second.
Seems like it's a nice, solid door.
I'll open it up.
You don't
I'll
want
move
to
out
check
there.
for traps?
That hasn't been going too well for me.
The double doors in front of you are dusty panes of stained glass. Set into them designs of that resemble windmills.
More of the family crest.
Well, if anything, it's beautiful. Stained glass is just gorgeous.
I think that the dead children are a lot more attractive than this.
No comment. Shall we?
So the door opens. Dusty, cobweb-filled, what appears to be a master bedroom.
Ooh. I am totally rolling up that tiger skin or whatever that is and putting that in my bag.
Furnishings include a four-poster bed, embroidered curtains, and tattered gossamer veils. There's a matching pair of wardrobes, a vanity with a wood-framed mirror, and what looks to be a jewelry box. There's a tiger skin rug on the floor that looks like it's seen better days. Persephone, as you go and gleefully run across the room towards the rug and lift it, part of it comes off in your hand. It appears to be rotting in front of the fireplace.
Is there any way I can recover that with my taxidermy skills?
You can always try.
All right. Is that a D20?
Well,
I don't know. What are my taxidermy skills? I don't know.
that would be a crafting thing. But for everybody else that's still looking around the room, there's a dust-covered portrait of what you can only assume now is Gustav and Elizabeth Durst hanging over the fireplace. There's a parlor to the southwest corner, where there's a table and 2 chairs. Resting on a dusty tablecloth is an empty porcelain bowl and matching jug.
I'm gonna head
There's a door facing the foot of the bed that has a full-length mirror mounted on it.
I want to go in and search this wardrobe right here.
Flinging open the wardrobe, you find them completely empty except for there is one single stovepipe type hat on the top shelf, a red sash hanging from a nail in the side, and a single boot with mud on the toes.
It's funny. I need to announce this. Underneath my little table here, I rolled the dice for the crafting of the tiger, and I lost it. I literally pulled out a pillow and a wine cork, but I have yet to find my dice.
What?
And I've been finding like wires for my USB keyboard and my headset, but I can't find my dice anymore, so I guess I'm gonna use another pair. But I got a 9 on my roll for the tiger.
As you're trying to, you're able to salvage about 3/4 of the head and about 2.5 feet along the spine of the back, but the rest of it is too badly rotten. But you're able to, with your taxidermy skill, so you have like the complete head and a long strip about a foot wide of the tiger pelt down the back.
Okay, that's all I care about. Thank you.
But the rest of it is far too rotten to do anything with.
I'd like to beeline for the jewelry box.
Jewelry box?
While he does that,
I was on the thing over here.
Mm-hmm.
While he does that, I'm going to inspect the mirror and the door.
Okay. Make your perception check with that, and you the jewelry box is made of silver with a gold filigree. It's actually absolutely gorgeous. You find that the box itself is made of silver and gold. It has 3 gold rings inside, and a thin platinum necklace with a topaz pendant.
Is there anything outstanding about them?
From what you know about jewelry and silver and their weights and you gather that the box itself is probably worth about 75 gold pieces. The 3 gold rings are worth 25 gold each, and the platinum necklace with the topaz pendant is worth about 750 gold.
I will take the whole jewelry box and pocket that.
Okay.
I got an 11 for mine.
For checking the full-length mirror,
Yes.
the mirror is of finely crafted leaded glass. It is actually made of leaded crystal. There's a door that, when you open it, reveals an empty, just completely dust-covered, dust-choked closet. That is all you find in there.
I'm gonna pull the hat out of the cupboard and throw it to Persephone and say, "Here for your collection."
A hat for me? I instantly take off the skeleton or the boss armor off of Miguel's head and replace it immediately.
With a fresh stovepipe top hat. Outstanding.
Yes, with the fresh stovepipe top hat.
Excellent.
And I'm gonna search this cupboard here.
Okay, on that side over there, there are 6 cloaks with gold neck pins, like a chain that goes across the front, They're probably they're in excellent condition. They don't have hoods for them. They have an extra shoulder flap the way a duster jacket would. They're black on the outside and lined with red velvet on the inside. Almost like capes.
I'm gonna search them for any like pockets or anything like that. See if there's anything in them.
Make your perception check.
Damn. That's an 11.
11. Good. No, yeah. There's no pockets in there. No pockets with anything in them. You find that each one has a long pocket on the inside that would probably hold like a bottle of. It would probably be big enough to hold a bottle of wine, but nothing in those pockets.
Okay. Also, what is this right here?
That's a window. You can see outside.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over and take one of those capes.
Outstanding. Okay. And
Cape.
Yeah, I'm gonna take one as well.
cool. Okay. There. And what are you doing with them?
Just gonna put it in my bag.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna wear it.
As you drape this fine fabric over your shoulders, it billows slightly, and the dust on the floor, and a little dust of cloud, little motes of dust, go up into the air. It's really quite lovely as the heavy black fabric hugs your shoulders, and the flash of brilliant red from underneath. The luxurious velvet brushes against your arm for a moment, and fuck you, Chrissy. Distract me like that when I'm in the middle of narration. But it is.
I've been given a new hat. I can't help it.
But yes, it is quite stunning. It is a fine cloak, and god damn, you look so good.
God, damn.
I'm gonna go over and. Is this a door here?
It is. It looks out onto another balcony area. Again,
Okay.
rain filling in. The smell of smoke when you're close to the exterior walls now, more so than the interior, smells. It smells like perhaps it smells like maybe this wood has been on fire before. As you get closer to the edges of the walls.
Hey, you, Coda. Are you getting wood?
I mean, wood floats. Are you trying to propose that I'm made of wood?
No reason at all. Never mind. Even dead bodies get wood, but whatever.
Do any of us notice anything behind the bed?
Nobody's checked.
I'd like to go check behind the bed.
Cool.
I'd like to check under the bed.
Dust bunnies.
Maybe more spiders.
They're dangerous, man.
Behind the bed. Behind the bed is there are tattered curtains around a bay window that looks out into the yard. Peering out the window, you notice the edges of the window. The paint looks brown, and there's peculiar odor coming off of it.
Would I be able to place this odor?
Kind of smells like burning paint.
Looking out the window, looking straight down, like as far as I can. Do I see any like lights coming from cutting through the fog, like torch light or anything like that?
Make a perception check.
17.
17. As you're looking out, the fog swirling around and around, the fog breaks for a minute, and you can see a single light on the rooftop. The building, what would be behind. And the figure of a man briefly standing on the roof, looking like he's peering back through the fog at you.
We're not alone after all. There's someone out there.
Hmm?
On
I
the
would like to
rooftop,
look out the
and
window.
I'll
Oh wait, was there anything under the bed?
Under the bed is a rapier.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, I'm very childish. I can't help it.
There's a
I'll definitely grab that.
There's a rapier that has a fine ruby in the hilt.
I'm grabbing that.
Next to it is a scabbard, and down the length of the scabbard, there are more mentions of a cult of Obsibus. This rapier looks to be its edge is not very sharp, but the tip is incredibly sharp and appears to be perhaps ritualistic in nature.
I will grab them both, and I'm actually going to hand those over to Persephone, as they have occult things on them.
Okay.
So, may I make a roll to investigate and see if there's anything abnormal about them? Or maybe to see if I can get any more details about them?
What in particular are you looking for?
Right, so I'm examining the sword, and you said they had an occult trademark on them.
Yeah,
Do I recognize?
It had the same emblem that you had seen on the summoning rituals and the necromantic rituals on the tomes that you had found in the secret room downstairs.
Okay.
From the cult of the priest of Osibis.
Knowing my experience with like sacrificial swords and sacrificial daggers, are they perhaps made in the same manner? Are they single sharpened? One.
Make an Arcana check.
Ooh. Let me.
While she's doing that, I'd also like to look out the window and see the person that Ukota. Well,
Okay, so
try to see the person Ukota.
Okay,
said.
12.
12?
Yes.
There is a thin line of what looks to be very old dried blood from the tip to about 1.5 feet up the rapier.
Okay, can I taste the blood and see if it tastes like human or animal?
You can always try.
I will lick up
Make a perception check with disadvantage.
Oh.
I guess you look
Okay.
and as
Ooh,
and
19 and 20. That'll be perception.
mm-hmm,
So the 20.
20.
Yes.
Okay, so having worked with various animals and trying to reanimate them and been you've had the occasion to taste human blood before, and that's definitely what you feel this is.
I convey that to the rest of the group.
Yeah. Leliana, as you look out the window again, peering into the darkness, because Ukota had told you briefly of a figure in the dark. We're not alone. You glancing out the window, squinting your eyes through the fog, and there's a flash of lightning, and briefly from a rooftop across the way, maybe 30, 40 feet away, standing with one leg perched up in the other one, and a cape very much like your own, you see eyes piercing back, and the figure of a very striking man. Standing there, it seems, in this storm, the rain not touching him at all, as his eyes pierce straight through the gloom and hit you, that he's looking straight at you the whole time.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. No. I'm gonna back away from the window.
Okay.
That's no. Is there any room in this house we have not checked? I feel we've checked everywhere.
No, there's still the stairs behind the hidden door.
Ah,
Leading up.
yes, that. Of course. I guess that's the next place.
I think we should go check that place out now.
Let's go.
Okay, making your way back out through the stained glass windows, you moving back towards the interior of the house. The smell of burnt wood becoming more faint as you back into the central hall. And
Why do I feel
you make your
that
way.
perhaps the... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you feel the puppy's fur in your hand as you caress it?
No, actually, I let the puppy down when I was playing with it. I'm just...
Oh, no.
I feel... The puppy, I'm sure, will be fine. I didn't drop him. I set him down while I was playing with him. But it feels that, we're smelling this burned wood only up here. Does that not strike anyone as odd? What was that?
Why?
We smelt it down on the second floor. Not quite as strong, but we did smell it.
I was too busy because I have tiger skin and I'm super excited about that.
Did anybody else hear the sound of doors opening and closing earlier from downstairs?
Yes.
I can't say I did.
Not really.
I assumed it may have been the ghost woman.
She did go upstairs, didn't she? I wonder if she went up an extra flight.
Well, there is those other stairs going up.
I say
No,
we
that's
give,
what I'm wondering.
say we give it a shot.
Perhaps we'll find Walter up there.
Actually, is there another set of doors beyond the bed?
No, that's a window.
There is not. Those are wardrobes.
Wait.
All right,
So
then.
beyond the door with, beyond the bed with the tiger skin room, there's not another door?
That's a bay window.
That's a bay window
bay.
that's looking out into the
Okay.
into the yard. That's where Leliana and Okoda were looking out that window when they saw
Okay.
through the gloom somebody staring back at them.
Sorry, I was a little distracted. Has anyone investigated the desk and the chair? Perhaps,
I went and swiped a jewelry box off of it.
but you
think it-
haven't investigated the drawers beyond it, perhaps.
No, it's a vanity table.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So no makeup either.
No, none to speak of.
That's a shame because I need a little more blush to look a little livelier. But let us continue.
To the stairwell.
Up the stairs we go.
So, going back to the stairwell, still slightly ajar, easy enough to find now that you know that it's there. You crawl one by one into this stairwell, leading your way up. And you turn a corner, and it leads you up. The dust here growing thicker and thicker, and the smell of burned wood growing more and more pungent.
Miguel, do you smell that?
A doorway at the top stands slightly ajar.
Does the door push or pull the way it's open?
Pushes,
Um,
and it is slightly ajar. And you
so I'll motion back to the group without saying anything. I'm gonna wave my hand like I'm telling them, get down, get low, be quiet. And I suggest we move quietly.
I turn the skull to face me and I go, shh.
I'm gonna sneak up to the door.
okay? And moving very quietly. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Everybody, or just Kirtis?
It's the one that said he was moving quietly to the door.
That's a 24.
And 24, you're able to move completely without a sound to the door, and it's cracked open slightly.
I want to peek inside and see what's in there.
Okay, you put your hand to the door and move it. It moves silently. A little creak opens. Reveals an area completely choked with dust and cobwebs, and it's almost like something out of a bad dream that you're looking into. The walls of this, or the ceilings here are slanted up. Ceilings are kind of low. You see an area, a small window that's completely covered in dust. Barely any of the exterior light is spilling through this dust-choked glass. There is a door to your left that you're looking at that you can see. It looks as though it has a heavy padlock on it.
So,
Before I open the door any further or go into the room, I want to look at the dust on the ground and see if it's been disturbed in any way.
Make a perception check.
16.
16. It doesn't look like anybody has passed this way in a very, very long time.
Okay, I'm going to motion back to the rest of the group and motion them towards me and slowly open the door and move into the room as stealthily as possible.
Okay.
if I can, you can choose to ignore it, but I'll use my mage hand to pull at your arm for a moment.
Okay.
And then I'll use my mage hand to blindly feel the area. Does it feel like it sets off anything?
So mage hand moves back and forth and like presses into the dust on the floor. You can see the imprints that the mage hand leaves, and as it works its way around the door, and it doesn't seem to set off any traps. It doesn't seem to alarm anyone or anything.
I'll give Treeborn a thumbs up.
Okay, gonna step into the room and try and move as stealthy as possible.
Okay.
And get a better view on what's down here.
Okay, so as you step into the room, despite the dim light, you can see, again, choked dust,
I have dark vision.
cobweb-filled hallways, a very steep, sloped ceiling, as you can assume that you are now in an attic where before you'd been on fine marbled floors, and through most of this here is creaky wood, the smell of burnt wood heavy in your nose. You see doors here, and here. Another door here with a very heavy padlock on it.
Does the burnt wood smell like the burnt wood from downstairs when we snuffed out the flames? Or does it smell a little different, as if it was older?
It smells of old, very old burned wood.
Okay.
I would like to walk to the top corner, like the very far corner, and check the door up here.
This one here?
Yes.
Okay. There's a door that doesn't appear to even have a lock on it. It's a simple latch door. It's not a knob.
I would like to open it.
And again, as the room opens up, in the dust, even a good quarter of an inch thick, laying over everything. Cobwebs from the ceiling. You can see where the roof, where it slopes, where you're definitely up by the roof. The room contains a very slender bed, a nightstand, a rocking chair, a wardrobe, and a small iron stove.
I'd like to check the wardrobe.
The wardrobe is completely empty. Save for one tiny formal jacket.
Like the formal.
Make a perception check.
That is 14.
It looks like the same jacket that was on the infant in the family portrait painted downstairs.
Ooh, can we put the jacket on the puppy, please?
You know what? That will be cute as hell.
Yes, please.
I'll take the jacket and put it in my pack for right now until we can get back to the puppy.
Oh my god, yes!
And you hear this. You hear from behind you as the rest of you look back at where you'd come from, and you see the puppy tracking prints all through the dust on the floor. As he enters, he followed you up the stairs.
Please put it on the puppy. Oh my god, please.
I don't
Well, I'm gonna
think.
put the jacket on the puppy.
Okay,
I don't
so
think Ghost
as
Lady's gonna like that.
as you bend down and pick up this puppy out of the dust, and the dust billows up into the air. Make a perception check.
Oh god. Oh god. That's a 7.
7? That's enough. That's enough. I mean, this was
Okay.
only a DC of 5. Because you can't help but notice that this dust that's covering everything is a layer of dust and ash.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. What burned up here? What burned up here?
Okay, so Liliana, what if the house burned down with the family inside?
Or maybe just this area here. Because
Why would
everything
only-
below this is pristine.
Oh, okay. What fire makes only the upper areas burn, though?
Maybe
Because
they-
it seems like from the third level onward is like cobwebbed and burned.
Maybe it started in the attic, spread to the third floor, and they were able to put it out before it reached the second.
Perhaps this whole
But
place.
not before there were casualties.
Perhaps it's based on an illusion of memory,
Okay,
and
so
whoever's
Wait,
memory it is just never
Oh.
went beyond the third floor. And this is
God.
what it is.
What if this was purposely set on fire? Perhaps the lady in the house was angry and she killed the mistress. And oh.
But my
Why
question
the-
is, how cute does the puppy look in the outfit?
He's goddamn adorable. It's amazing how cute he is. It is.
That's all I wanted.
It's the jacket. The jacket is actually it's a little snug, and he kind of walks funny because of it. But he's high stepping around through the dust and the ash, and leaving little puppy prints everywhere.
Is
Why-
that bad that I only care about that?
While they're talking about the puppy and watching the puppy, I'm just going to shake my head and walk away from them.
Okay,
Go and check this door.
so you're
I'm
going.
going with him.
Deny it all you want, but you know that you secretly want to cry because how adorable this is.
So as you fling the door,
I'm
as you fling the door open, you see again a dusty chamber packed with old furniture, and various shapes that look almost human, draped with dusty white sheets. Near an iron stove, there's one sheet that's in the shape of a trunk.
You said the figures under the sheet are humanoid?
There's a couple of them that look human shaped, yes.
Nope.
That's,
I'm not going in there.
that's Jazzy's mannequin.
Aw, you.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm going to move into the room.
Should we maybe have Persephone go inside and check the bodies if they are indeed bodies?
As a precaution, I'm gonna take my sling and take a pebble from my pocket
Okay.
because I have
That's
30
right.
of them,
Yeah, that's right.
and I'm gonna whip a stone at one of the humanoid ones, the closest one to me,
Okay.
Do it.
like
Cool.
from this door.
So you take your sling and let the pebble fly, and it sounds like wood.
Perhaps this is the dead lady's job?
Perhaps, but why was the rest of the house meticulously maintained, yet this room is dirty?
Because of some trauma, obviously.
This whole floor has been dirty. Floor below was dirty.
Well,
I'm
as
going
I've
to go in.
speculated, perhaps the fire started up here. It was purposely set.
And then we
I'm done.
started it downstairs because of me.
So,
And I apologize.
I'm going to come in and pull the sheet off this one.
and it's a beautiful old chair that underneath that it's looked just like the piece of furniture that it was in the shape of. The one next to it has roughly the shape of a human.
I'm going to go ahead and pull that sheet off.
So, and you reach out with one hand and you snatch the white sheet away. Dust billows into the air. And underneath is a dressmaker's mannequin.
Phew.
Is it well shaped?
Quite voluptuous.
I grab its breasts and I say, "This is a mannequin."
Thank you, Persephone.
I'm gonna move over to the one that looks like a chest or trunk.
Say, as you slowly, as you learning your lesson from the last one, having gotten a face full of ash and dust, you pull this sheet off a little bit more slowly, and there is, in fact, a very large chest.
I want to check it traps.
Okay, cool. Make your perception check.
That's a nat 20.
Ooh.
Nice.
And then a +4. So 24.
There is no trap that you can see. No trap. If it's a trap, it is so fucking well hidden. You know for sure that this. And then it occurs to you, it's like, why would anybody bother to trap a chest when it doesn't even have a lock on it?
Oh shit.
Okay, I'm going to open the chest.
Oh, and throw the chest open, and inside is the remains of a woman.
Oh shit. Persephone?
Is her
How
skeleton
would you-
pretty?
Persephone, come look at this.
I'm looking.
Her rotting corpse, covered by a rotting blouse of white, what looks familiar. It looks almost like a nursemaid's clothes, with multiple dark brown spots in it and holes, as if there are at least half a dozen, maybe more stab wounds.
Does she remind me of the nursemaid spirits, perhaps?
As a matter of fact, the clothing, the outfit, the bone structure of the face, everything is dead on what you saw in the specter of the nursemaid.
I convey this information, and I am confident that this is the body of the spirit of the nursemaid that we saw.
Murdered, stuffed in a trunk, and possibly set on fire. I'm telling you, it was the lady of the house.
Why? But why was she stabbed? That is my question. Liliana, you seem very astute in what is happening here with your...
I'm speculating.
No. I feel like you have more of an idea than anyone else here. What do you think happened?
Again, all speculation, and I'm perhaps letting my emotions get the better of me, seeing that there is images of children, a stillborn involved in all of it. I believe that Gustav obviously had, according to this letter, he obviously had an affair with this nursemaid. His wife found out, completely pissed off. You can tell from the look on her face and the engraving when she's staring at the child, because the child's not hers. The child was stillborn.
I looked at the body.
I want to think that perhaps, because there was those false necromancy books, he must have wanted to try to bring the child back to life.
Because it was his own.
Another
Exactly.
point.
But because it was not Elizabeth's child, she gave him false books, giving him false hope. While that was going on, perhaps then she because she must have been enraged. I mean, I would be furious finding out that my husband were to have an affair with a woman and, uh, you know, father a child from someone else. She must have, in a rage, murdered the nursemaid, stuffed her body here, and then the smell of this wood, it's burnt, and there's ashes mixed with the dust.
Ukanda, I have a question for you. If you would like to answer.
Who?
Ukuda.
Ukanda.
Oh, Ukoda.
Ukoda, sorry.
Ukoda.
Yes.
Wakanda, pay attention.
Ukanda forever.
I was waiting for that.
If you found out you sired a child from someone else other than the spouse or matron that you have assigned, would you prefer them be raised alongside your other children, or would you put them to the side?
Well, see, that's a difference in communities. In the undersea world, we sire children from all sorts of families.
But would you have them killed so that you would have your own come to the top, so to speak? Or do you think the females on your side would have them killed so that yours would become supreme, so to speak?
I suppose if I had a feeling that my child were the strongest in the tribe, then I suppose yes.
What do you say of this situation then?
I think this woman was stabbed to death.
Oh, no, it's very obvious. Perhaps you're the wrong person to speak about. Maybe our next in line would be Mr. Stephanie himself.
You're gonna hurt me. Stop. Oh,
I'm sorry, Persephone. That's too obvious. This is a mannequin.
Well, the mannequin can be very metaphorical.
But to answer your question, I believe that it was most likely the Lady Durst. Elizabeth Durst, out of rage and frustration. It also could have been related to the letter that we read, because if you remember what he addressed it to, he said, where is it? He said, "My most pathetic servant."
So I believe it was out of rage from the mother that perhaps killed the mother and killed the servant, so to speak.
Either rage or perhaps punishment.
So what is
Perhaps
the
the servants
consensus
knew
for
and didn't say
today?
anything.
The letter we found wasn't from Gustav.
Correct. It was from someone named Strahd.
Strahd von Zarofik.
Also, when we encountered the phantasm of this maid, she mentioned there were 6 children, but we've only found evidence of 3.
Perhaps from a very fertile father.
A wandering father.
There could be other bastards out there that might now be dead.
So what is our consensus altogether?
Our consensus. We still have 2 rooms to search. There
We
are 2 more
do, we
doors.
do. So
There may
that
be more
is
information.
2 options to change our minds, but mine as of now is that there was a woman that was very, very jealous, perhaps very gratuitous, that chose to put others down, so to speak.
Well, speculating's not gonna figure anything out. We should continue.
Okay, what is everyone else's choice?
I say
All
we
I know
search.
is
I mean, we will continue
there
either
is-
way.
Oh, I'm sure that
there
it
are
was
two
the wife
openings.
stabbed the mistress.
Yes, the jealous wife. That is definitely my.
Would we like to look under the rest of these sheets?
All I know is if
If you
I
wanna
had
pull
been in
them
that
off,
woman's
I
shoes,
will
I'd
as
be
well.
furious.
I would as well. If Miguel ever chose to sire children other than my own, I would be very fortuitous.
So what would you like to do?
I'd like to pull the sheet off of the whatever this is next to the trunk.
Okay.
I would like to choose whatever sheet as well and copy him.
Okay. As you make your way around the room, there are a few more chairs, a standing mirror. The one closest to the trunk is a pile of rotting wicker baskets.
Oh.
There's a crate that when you open it, there are several works of art that are in nice frames. As you look more and more closely at these works of art, there are depraved images that you find like hidden within each one. Pictures of otherwise what would be lovely scenes where there's pictures of skeletons, bats chasing after toddlers. See, there is a coat rack, a pile of old rotting clothes, and everything else as you search through this room seems to be far, far more commonplace and what you would expect in an attic than the body of a stabbed woman.
So, in my perception as Persephone, I feel that if anyone were to sire children other than her own, she would like to disregard them or destroy them in favor of her own. That is what I get out of the children fleeing from the vats. Does anyone care to argue with this argument?
Nope.
No, I think
Nope.
you've got it right on the head.
All right, shall we
Sounds about
continue
right to
on
me.
forward?
Yeah,
I would
want
like to go down to this room down here. The one that
Okay.
Kiara just pointed to.
Yeah, I want to
purple?
go.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it doesn't have a lock.
Okay.
Might as well just go down there.
Okay, because the red I feel like is continuing our progress so far. So if we backtrack and figure out what's going on, I feel like we're going to get more information.
I think this is a window. I'd just like to look
Yeah, I
out the
think it's-
window real quick.
Okay.
Oh, is that a window?
As you take a peek out the window, you see again the roof of what you had seen was a balcony below.
Okay. So I'll follow everybody out to this door.
Okay.
No, out of the balcony, what else do we see other than the balcony below?
You see the swirling mists and the fog reaching back towards the front of the house. You see
No more bats.
the steady beat of the rain. You can see, looking this direction, you can see another window over this way. And no, you don't see any more. There's no sign of any person or animal outside of this window.
If I may, seeing within the window, I think I see another object inside of the window. What is that?
Make a perception check.
Sorry, one moment, please. Perception. That is a total of 4.
4.
Yes.
There's a splash of yellow, but you can't
Okay.
really tell what exactly it is. But there is another window that you can see,
Okay.
and it's
I
covered.
turn and summon Tenpenny towards me, if he will.
Okay.
But something that you did notice. Okay, wait. Okay, sorry. You're. Okay, you're.
Out of 4.
Okay, you're summoning Ridry over towards you.
Yes, because he is our rogue, and I trust him in what his perceptive eye sees. And I show him the window in the distance, and I say, "What do you see in that window over yonder?"
So I'll take a gaze.
Okay, make your perception check. Through the rain and the dust of the windows.
That's a 2.
Damn it! I trusted you.
I don't know why.
As you're looking out the window, and you like, ugh, this is just all. And you try to brush some of the dust off of the window, and your hand touches the window frame, and it feels extremely hot to the touch.
Ooh. Persephone, put your hand on the window real quick.
Do I feel anything on the window myself?
On the window, no. But as you move your hand over slowly towards the frame, you can feel it getting warmer and warmer. And you put your hand up onto the window frame, and then you touch the wall around it. It's very hot to the touch, and you pull your hand back automatically.
Perhaps we should call Yukota over because he's another sorcerer.
While they're
Yukota?
while they're doing that, I open this door.
Okay.
I'm right behind Kiartis.
Okay, so as you throw that door open, see path. You see immediately a writing desk, and a rocking chair and a window off to your right. As you look into this dust, again another dust-covered room. As you move further into the room.
Wait, have we figured out why the window is so warm?
No, it's just the two of you discussing it right now. As you move into the room, you see another bed in a disheveled state. It looks as though it hasn't been fully made. A nightstand, and a doll, a smiling doll. It's got a big smile painted on its face, in a lacy yellow dress. It's sitting in the window box. Cobwebs are draping across it like a wedding veil.
I would like to inspect the doll.
You move over to
Just
it,
get a
and you go
closer
to
look.
lift the doll up, and its head falls off and
Ah.
falls to the floor and rocks back and forth with the painted smile staring up at you.
No, 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 I do not like that.
That's not creepy at all.
Okay.
It's not as welcoming as the puppy.
If
I'm gonna search this writing desk.
Inside the writing desk,
I'll go to the wardrobe.
Okay, as you search
Putting
the
the doll
writing
down.
desk, there's a quill, and several other quills in a drawer. There's an inkwell, and as you inspect the inkwell, you find the ink is completely dried up. It's just like a hard lump of black, and there's a couple of drawings, crude stick figures, and a picture of a cloudy sky that looks like it was drawn by a child.
I'm curious about something. If I walk up and pick up the doll that Liliana dropped,
Mm-hmm.
And I give it like kind of a shake, does it sound like there's anything in it?
You pick up the doll, and ignoring the head on the floor as you're standing and it's staring up at you as you're standing over it. You pick up the body of the doll and give it a shake, and vigorously one time to see if there's anything inside, and some of the stuffing comes flying out around the room, and one of the feet drop off of it. That's like a ceramic feet. Then it goes clunk, clunk, and lands next to the face. You look down at it as this face, this strange, large, exaggerated smile painted on it, and painted eyes staring back up at you.
If I reach down and pick up the head and move it around, does it appear like the eyes are following us? Or following me?
Picking up the head and back and forth. It's actually, despite the kind of odd paint job it's got, the rest of it looks as though it's quite well made.
Anything inside the wardrobe?
The wardrobe is completely empty.
So I'm still observing the area from the window. Do I see my teammates investigating the room?
You can see movement within the room. You can tell that there's something in there. Yeah, but I mean, from like two filthy panes of glass, it's hard to make out what it is that's actually moving in there.
So do I see the colors of my my teammates' clothing and skin tone?
You could probably make out that there is a blue person in there. There's a blue person moving around. So Ukoda moving in front of the window would be because I mean you got a decent passive perception, so you would probably notice that that's not a specter.
Okay, then I'm going to make my way into the room then, and then that ends my turn.
Okay.
I'd like to look at the nightstand next to the bed.
Okay. The nightstand next to the bed is a thick layer of dust across the top. There is a single drawer in the front.
I'll open it.
The drawer slides and scrapes its way out. Inside is a single silver ring, very plain, very humble, like a wedding ring, and a woman's wedding ring, and a single knife, a dagger, about 3.5 inches long, covered in dried, but very old dried blood.
I will actually
shit.
take the ring. I'll take the ring. I'll actually put the ring on.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it. And I'll pick up the dagger and leave the room and head towards Persephone and present it to her.
So as she presents the ring to me, I'm rocking the fake baby back and forth in my arm, the one I've stuffed with a pillow.
Okay.
Does she feel any emotions that show on her face?
Who? Does who show emotions?
Liliana that has put on the ring, whom I assume is the wife's ring, so to speak, that comes up to the child's the child that I'm, like, so to speak, rocking back and forth in my hands, that I've stuffed with a pillow to deceive that is the actual child. Does she show any emotion?
Does who show any
As
emotion?
I rock Liliana as she's wearing the ring.
Wait, who's asking?
Me. I'm asking, do I see it? Like, I
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I follow now.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, Liliana, do you have any emotion on your face? As you see her rocking this fake child.
Back and forth
Confused?
as I stare back at you.
A little bit of confusion. I just want you to see the dagger that we found, the knife that's covered in blood.
Mm-hmm. So do I feel any specific emotions then?
Do you?
Perhaps from the ring itself or Liliana herself?
Make a perception check.
Ooh, damn it. Perception. That would be 3.
3.
Yes.
You're not picking up any sort of unusual vibe, man.
Is she making any like facial expressions herself, or is
Are
she
you asking
showing
about? Are you
any
asking me about
tension?
Liliana?
Yes, about
Good.
her facial expressions and her body expressions.
I'd make an insight check.
Okay, insight. Damn it! I can't do anything right. So it's a 1 + 1.
Like trying to read a brick wall.
She's
She's so amazingly stoic. She's actually hiding her confusion quite well.
So
Damn it, Liliana, what the hell?
you just get up and grab her by the shoulders. How do you feel?
Pretty much. How does this make you feel, Liliana?
Oh fuck! I should have played a in.
I'm utterly confused right now. I'm confused. I have no idea what the hell's going on. Are you all right?
But how does the ring make you feel, Liliana?
It's just a ring. I came to bring you this knife.
Damn it, I don't feel anything. What's wrong with you? Feel a little empathy, goddammit.
Okay, look. This is... Oh my gods. Okay.
Okay, how about this? What if I put the puppy in some rags and pretend it's a child? How would you feel?
Again, confused. Are you trying to see if maybe I'm possessed?
You know what? I don't care anymore. Miguel and I are just gonna continue investigating the room. You do whatever you want.
Okay, wait. Calm. Let's just calm down, all right?
No, I will not calm down.
While they're all having this argument, I'm gonna go up and check the lock on this door.
Same.
See if there's like any traps or anything like that, or like just
Make your perception check.
that's
You're the necromancer, Persephone. Look at this damn knife.
No, Miguel is a necromancer. I'm just his assistant / wife.
that's an 11.
11. It looks to be a plain chain, iron chain on a plain iron padlock.
Gertus, didn't you
I turn around.
earlier?
No, Yukata or Yukota did. So I turned around and checked the Yukota. Do you want to check to see if that key fits this lock?
Sure. This one, right?
No. Right here.
Oh, that door. Okay.
Yeah, that's where the padlock is, on the chain door.
Okay. I thought it was on that one. So yes, I'm
gonna turn around and head towards that area because I'm frustrated with what Liliana has to say to me.
So, as you remove the key from your pouch and place it into the lock, it fits in. It's a perfect fit, and the chains fall away. The padlock opens. The chains hit the floor with a rattle. The wooden door stands in front of you.
Are you ready for this?
Yes,
I'm
I am.
put the knife in my pack and follow everyone out.
Before anything else happens, I want to check the door for traps. Because we checked the lock, but we didn't check the door.
Make your perception check.
Bridger, you look so adorable and small as you examine doors for traps. I think it's so cute.
That's a 6, and it's Kiartis searching the doors for traps.
So,
She's
again,
frustrated.
not a single, it doesn't look like there's any kind of trap, no kind of, just a plain wooden door, the smell of smoke and ash hanging heavy in the air, along with thick dust and cobwebs all around the door, standing in front of you. What would you like to do?
Let's go in. Who wants to go first?
Well, does the latch that the padlock went through, is there a knob or a handle on the door as well?
There's a small handle, yes. It's a small latch handle.
If I just rest my hand on it gently, do I feel heat coming from the door handle?
You put your hand to the door and nope. No, it's nothing. Doesn't feel, so it's actually, you pull your hand back and it's just layers of dust and ash covering your hand now.
Okay, I'm gonna position myself to the right of the door
Okay.
and open it.
Yeah, I'm gonna move back to right here.
As you swing the door open,
Oh,
this room can
Do I see adorable bones?
this room contains a bricked up window flanked by dusty wood framed beds sized for children. Closer to the door is a toy chest with windmills painted on its sides and a dollhouse that's a perfect replica of the dreary, dreary house that you're standing in. These furnishings are draped in cobwebs. Lying in the middle of the floor are two small skeletons wearing tattered but familiar clothing. The smaller of the two cradles a stuffed doll that you also recognize.
fuck.
And that's where we're going to call it a night.
I was just wanting to investigate that too. Fuck.
I was gonna say, those are adorable children.
I bet it's Rose and Thorn.
But,
Yeah.
but you all just got to level 2. So,
Nice.
so you go ahead and level up your characters tonight.
I'm
Or
already on it.
sometime before next week.
Yeah, I'm already on it. Level 2.
All right.
It's only midnight. Come on, Zach.
It's like 7 a.m. or some shit for
5 a.m.
For 5 a.m.
The sun is about to come up. Come on.
The sun's already up here.
Oh,
Yeah,
it is.
He's been
Okay.
he's literally been playing all
Okay.
night.
No, I'm happy
Okay,
to
so
go.
how do I do my
I am
hit
happy to
points?
keep
Do I
going.
just roll a d8 and add that?
What's that now?
Do I just roll a d8 and add something for my hit points? Because that goes up, right?
Are you doing it on
D&D
are you
Beyond?
doing it on D&D Beyond?
Uh-huh.
It should actually help you. It should do it for you.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my
Okay,
once I
because it's
leveled up,
not. It's
Okay.
once I leveled up, I went
Okay.
from 12 to 20, so I got
Okay.
it.
Roll. You're gonna roll your hit dice. Roll your hit dice and add that, and whatever your hit dice is. What is your hit dice? You have a D8, so now it'd be a 2D8. So
2d8, okay.
roll your hit. Yeah, you're gonna roll your hit dice and add that to your total. Ignoring
Okay.
ones. If you get a 1, re-roll.
okay.
So
Ooh. That's I get to add 11.
no. You just you roll. So you've got 1d8 Now you'll have 2d8. So you've got 8 now. Roll it once.
Right.
And add that to it. Is that what you did?
Yeah, I rolled it once and it was a 7.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Wow,
I
nice. Dude, that's a good second level. Damn, you're only 1 point shy away from your max. That's awesome. So
I add that to what I have now.
yeah, so your max will be 11 and your current will be 11. And then you see on the right of your sheet you have temporary hit points. If you get temporary hit points, that goes on top of your max. So if you do something where you get temporary hit points like spells, or if you eat a potion or some sort of meal that gives you, or you have something that gives you temporary hit points, shit comes off of your temporary hit points before they come off of your regular. So any kind of damage that you take will come off that first. But yep, now you're at 11. I don't know the rest of you. You guys all know how to level up.
I do, but
It's confusing.
sorry.
My max health at the moment is 20.
Yeah, you got me beat. I'm at a healthy 14.
I thought I had to add this that I rolled. We have.
I got 15.
Yeah, you add your new roll to your current, or to your level 1, so it's 8 plus whatever. So you
8 plus 7.
Yeah, because you're a cleric, you have a D8. Persephone,
Right.
Persephone's is a D8. Ukoda is a fucking warlock, so that's a D8. Tierta is a fucking fighter, so that's a D12.
No, the problem with me.
I'm a ranger. It's
Ranger.
D10. It's a D10.
D10.
Yeah.
How do you have 12 hit
So
points?
I should have 15 hit points, not 11. If
I've got
it's 7 plus 8.
I get 16,
Yes.
and then I've got my fixed HP is 16, but I get +4 for my Constitution.
Oh, that's right. You get a con modifier. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a con modifier? No, you are at 0. Liliana.
So my problem is that I have D&D Beyond, which is the setup I have given you, and then I have this app, which is 5th edition D&D.
The 5e character creator.
Yeah, which is a little different than what I've given you, so I'll talk to you about it in person. Because it also wants to prompt me into giving me a feature, which is different what you
feat?
say that, yeah.
Yeah, ignore that.
I'll subtract that, but I also want to talk about the other features that it gives me.
Wait, features or feats? Because you get features,
sorry.
you have all kinds of features, but not feats.
It says features and traits.
Yeah,
which,
you have tons of features, but you don't have feats. Feats are completely different. Feats are something that when you're leveling up, when you get to a place where you can take a modifier, or you can take a bump to your intelligence, constitution, dexterity, strength, wisdom, charisma. Instead of taking those points and making your intelligence go up, you take a feat instead. So, but yeah, you have features, but not feats. I mean, your features.
Yeah,
you have.
It says I have like regain half my level and then keen mind. But I'll talk to you about it in person so we can straighten it up, and then I can ignore whatever it's telling me. You know.
I think those are actually correct. I'm pretty sure.
We'll talk about it.
Okay,
so
cool.
that like it's not boring people.
Holy shit! What the fuck?
What?
Oh, no, I just fucking opened up my Twitter and I just got followed by a mango. Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
I'm fucking hitting the big time now. Fucking mango, and it's mango. Yes.
I like mangoes.
And
Mangoes are sweet.
following 80, he's got 6. Fuck, I'll follow the mango. Fuck yeah, I like this. An actual, and in his bio it says an actual goddamn mango. Hell yeah. Fucking I want turn on mobile notifications. Tell me when this mango tweets, baby. I'm all about some mango love.
I'm all about some.
Do it.
Okay. Anybody have any complaints about tonight? Anything? Is the game?
No.
Is it progressing nicely? I mean, do you feel like?
Liliana is not cuddling enough with her puppy. That is
I'm
my
sorry,
only
I had to
complaint.
put the puppy down.
Don't put the puppy down.
I don't want to drop the puppy again if we get into another fight.
I will respect that, but at the same time, I want the puppy to be around me so I can dress it up in cute outfits. True story.
If we'd have just
getting
used the dog like I wanted, I wouldn't have been dangled over a ledge like Michael Jackson's son, you know?
I'm
That
getting
was-
the feeling
We need
that
to, Chrissy, we
taking this
need to
puppy
name the
with us.
puppy.
Oh my god, yes, you need to name the puppy. I can't name it, but you can.
I get the feeling we're going to be taking this puppy with us when we leave the house.
I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm gonna be
Yes.
killing this puppy.
No, don't kill the puppy.
no.
We need to take the puppy
I
wherever
will
we
take
go.
my mace and I will smack you with it. No.
I will smite whoever does not want the puppy.
The way our rolls have been tonight, I don't think I have to worry about that.
You know, I was really concerned what I was
I've
concerned
actually
with
been
what new spell to take, and I think I just chose Charm Person to keep that puppy safe.
Oh god.
Yes, keep the puppy safe. I want the puppy out of game. The puppy needs to stay with us.
What
Do-
kind
In
of
the
saving
game,
throws?
Stephanie does not care.
I'm actually happy with my rolls tonight. I got some pretty decent rolls.
Yeah, you did.
I did not.
I got a
at
nat
all.
20.
No, the
Do I
puppy
get a
needs to
third
stay with
spell?
us.
And I picked my 2 spells. I'm happy with my 2 spells.
Okay, there's
don't know yet. I
3
haven't
spell
looked.
slots instead of 2. So do I get to have an extra spell or do I just have the 2?
You know what? Actually, that's something that I am going to have to look up. I'll
You
bust out
should
my.
get an. You should get another first level spell, I think.
Yeah,
You,
that's that. Yeah, that's.
you should have your 3 cantrips
You
and
would-
then another 3rd level spell.
You would think that as much as I have to help Dad with his wizard, I would know more about that shit. But
Well, was
No,
that
I
not?
feel like my husband is like laying on his bed right now because I feel like he can hear me from where I am right now. And like, I want to keep the puppy. That's all I want to say.
I,
Like, Persephone doesn't say that. Chrissy says that. I want the puppy to stay.
okay.
The puppy is gonna stay.
I'm still so I get the rules confused so often when it comes to casters. It's like I have to try to
No.
literally before every game I have to try to anticipate what the casters might use so I can have different tabs on my computer open just so I can quick reference it, just to be like,
Zach,
okay, how does that spell work again?
it's
Oh my
not
god.
about the casters. It's about the puppy itself. The puppy should stay.
How do you know it's
I'm
not
saying that.
how do you know it's not a goddamn werepuppy?
How do you know it's not because I'm drunk and I want the puppy to stay around?
Okay.
I
was
don't care.
actually-
We're keeping the puppy.
We're keeping the puppy, Liliana, and I say.
Oh my
I
gosh,
actually thought we were going to come up against a werewolf because there's so many wolf things in that house, like the helmets.
We're not
Dude.
out of the house yet.
Dude, this house is from hell. This
I
house
don't know
concerns me.
what first level spell I want. Oh gosh, there's so many first level spells.
Oh
Just
yeah.
look through them and like figure out what you think
Oh,
is
wait,
the
real-
best
real
appropriate
quick,
for
just
you
for- hey.
over this next week.
Real quick for editing purposes, everybody say good night and goodbye in case we turn this into a podcast so I can hey, thanks for listening to our podcast or whatever we're doing here. Everybody say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Good
We're
night.
drunk.
Good night,
Auf
everyone.
Wiedersehen.
Save the puppy.
Save the puppy.
Fuck the
Hashtag
puppy.
Save the puppy.
Hashtag save the puppy.
and that's a session. Stop recording now. Bye.